Living honest in a world that forces you to toe the line. They twist the words, they sell the fear. They keep the masses blind. But deep inside the fire's growing, and it's burning through my mind. Purple flame is rising up, no more bending to that game. Anger turns into rebellion, and the rebellion calls my name. Sick of the poison, sick of the chains they wrap around our souls. We've carried this weight too long, now we're ready to let it go. We're coming to life, turning the tide in this crusade for truth. We're coming to life, Chuppies rise together, armed to the teeth with proof. They attack the pack, try to bury what is real, but they're in the vendor now, and they're gonna feel the steel. We're alive tonight. The sword of the word cuts through the dark, lies are being snuffed out. Truth rises up, no more hiding. Hear the righteous shout, alive, alive. God is on our side. They thought they could break us, but the hope inside is louder. Turning the tide in this crusade for truth. We're alive, exposing the lies that corrupt the youth. We're alive tonight. We turn the tide. We're alive. Truth survives.
Hello, everybody. How is it going? I almost said happy Wednesday. I was getting my stream days all mixed up. Welcome to Saturday stream day. Hello, everyone. Let me just make sure that my mic is on the right thing. And we're gonna go over some fun stuff today. Okay, let's double check. Okay, perfect. All right. Hope you're having a great Saturday. I did not say for the record. I said okay. Doesn't have the part, so it doesn't count. We're gonna go over a couple different news stories that happened this week, just some cultural stuff, a funny clavicular video for some pop culture, and see where the wind takes us. I have 1,010 tabs open on my computer, so that's just great. Hello, Albion Awakening. Glad to see you. Hello. Big shout out to Essence Thief SP. The SP is for shit poster, I think he said, for designing some really awesome what would you call it, nostalgically inspired cultural political posters that I posted on X this week, and now my X following is doubled. So if you're new here and you're joining in for the first time, welcome. I'm glad you made it. And like I said, big shout out to Essence Thief for all of his art direction with those posters that really struck a nerve with a lot of people. I'm new. Welcome. Yanuka, did I say that the right way? Welcome, welcome. So the way that I have chat working for anybody who's been wondering is all of the chats are shown on stream from Twitch, from Kick, and from YouTube because I'm able to put a light auto moderation on it so the YouTube and Twitch overlords don't come for me. But the Rumble chats are more of a free speech type lane. So if you have something you want to say that you're worried is going to get censored or whatever, I just leave Rumble and let them do their own thing. And I will try to look at the Rumble chat more often so that I can engage with you and not just leave you hanging out over there by yourself. But forgive me if I miss anything because I'm trying to make sure I cover all 4 channels and also not say anything that's going to be a problem on stream. So, okay, without any further ado, the first thing that I wanted to get into, I just saw this last night, and this is funny because when Keone and I streamed last weekend on Saturday, I think it was last Saturday, we reacted to an Abolitionist Rising video. Oh, thank you for all those gifted subs, Albion Awakening. So nice. We appreciate you. Thank you. What was I gonna say? When we streamed the other day, we reacted to a abolitionists uprising. I'm sorry, rising, not uprising. It's kind of like an uprising. Abolitionist rising video, and we were talking about it, going through all of that. And then I just saw yesterday that it appears that Russell, I didn't watch the video, just clicked it to watch on stream. Russell, I believe, was arrested in what seems to be a messy situation for it not being actually against the law for him to be doing what he was doing. So we're going to watch that and react to that first. Albion Awakening told you I would send you 5 gifted. I appreciate you, Albion Awakening. That's so sweet. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs again. Okay, let me pull that up and we will take a look. We're also going to watch a Paul Joseph Watson video as well, and some other fun stuffs, okay? Okay, let me move this over. Here we go, and we'll get into it. Okay. All right, so this, I believe, just happened and was just uploaded. Let's make it fit a little bit better over here. Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay. Abolitionists arrested for free speech. Not a great look. Also, let me know if the volume sounds good to you guys. I think we've been pretty good on the volume lately for the Brave tabs. Oh, I forgot to report. I was able to sign into X. I think it was Cher that recommended turning on cookies or like allowing cookies or something on the browser, but I just tried it before stream and it worked. So now I can actually log into X and not be shut out of looking at replies to X posts because I was just feeling like a peasant having to pull up X tabs without being able to see people's replies or engagement at all. So shout out to Cher. That worked if you're here. Oh no, was it Essence Thief that said that? Sorry. I forgot who it was. Maybe you both said something about that. I forget. Lady, I told you to make sure it was accepting cookies. Okay, Essence Thief, I was looking at the wrong thing, okay? Okay. Let's take a look. Here we go.
Walking to my spot. I'm walking to my spot.
I think this was in Texas too, which I have to tell you, with everything that's going on in this country, and I just saw, was it Governor Abbott was found out about taking all this Islamic money, and people I think are feeling like there's nowhere left to run in this country. Yeah, nowhere is safe. There's nowhere left to run. And even in a place like Texas, which you would think would be friendlier towards free speech or our positions on the right, or generally on the right, more conservative positions. I just think everything is so corrupt that there's really nowhere left to go that you can get away from this kind of corrupt, fraudulent, communist takeover, it appears. I love Texas, but this is discouraging, says Sojohn2501. Okay, let's take a listen. This is exactly what's happening in Britain. Yeah, it's really disturbing. I was thinking about this the other day because I really liked the movie V for Vendetta, and what's happening in Britain reminds me of that, except it's not so much like, oh, you're a lesbian, you're getting arrested and thrown in a camp, but like, oh, you didn't get your COVID shot, or you're using your air conditioning. I didn't realize that you have to have a license to use your TV in Britain. What the fuck is up with that? And that apparently the license money for that funds the BBC. Could it get more dystopian than that? Did you watch Citizen Vigilante? No, I wanted to, but I didn't have time to in the last 2 days. So maybe eventually I'll be able to watch it like on their website or something. But it did look very timely and very good. V for Vendetta, 25th anniversary this November 5th. Oh, cool. I didn't realize it was already 25 years old. Sheesh. Thanks for supporting my country, and yet ADL, AIPAC, Netanyahu all have valid criticism about them. You're welcome, and yes, they certainly do, and I'm always open to talking about that. Don't worry, I got you. We can put Citizen Vigilante on the movie watch list in Discord. Oh, great idea. Great idea, Cher. Okay, let's take a listen and see how bad this is. There's a reason, oh, you got a license for that and stupid thing, mate, became a thing. That's insane. I'm so disturbed by that. It's really sickening. I could start a revolution about not having air conditioning, okay? It's I don't like our rights infringed upon. I have very strong feelings about that. We need to liberate the UK and recolonize in a second revolutionary style war and deliver them air conditioning and no licenses for watching their TV and what else? Fix their demographic and neighborhood problems, prosecute everybody for the rape gangs. Okay, let's listen.
Go ahead and step over there, buddy.
No, I can stay here.
No, you need to step over there.
Exactly
or
why?
I will guide you over there. Okay?
You don't have to.
You guys are a bunch of tyrants, and you need to know you're a bunch of tyrants.
You guys will all be arrested.
No one had told me that you can't walk around with a sign. You can't. Because I'm from America. I get these things mixed up.
Yeah, not a problem. If you're gonna come here, if you're gonna come onto
No,
the
no,
property,
it doesn't matter. So this is Texas.
It doesn't look like property. It looks like a public street.
Right, it's Texas.
In the United States of America. There we go. We are out here at the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, so that's public land, is it not?
Engage some folks here during Fiesta Week. Hope we get some good conversations. This probably isn't a good place in general because people just anyway, but it'd be funny to be like standing in front of it when the cops come and be like, remember the Alamo, bro. Stand your ground.
When we came to the Alamo, we already knew that there was going to be some problems with the police. Now, they don't have any right to restrict free speech in this area, but they have for years. Regardless, we came here to get engagements with passersby, not to be arguing with the police the entire day. So we were never planning on staying in this area for very long.
Smells like Shirley should be visiting these deputies, ? City police, ? Hang on, I want to look up something real fast before we go forward. I just want to look up what the designation is for the land where the Alamo is. Hang on a second. Public. Yes, the land the Alamo sits on is public land owned by the people of Texas, for reference here. The site is directly owned by the state of Texas and managed by the Texas General Land Office in partnership with the city of San Antonio. So no question about it. Yeah, it's state property. It's public land. That's right. Whoops. Right. Internationally famous as the site of the 1836 Battle of the Alamo, which was a pivotal event in the Texas Revolution where a small group of Texan defenders were overwhelmed by the Mexican army, but they stood their ground. So I think that's what he's referencing with that. So kind of ironic.
You know where the good locations are?
Yeah, I can tell you where to go. You can't do any filming or signage here.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's probably not very good for us anyway.
Kind of.
Where's like the place where people are the chillest? They're sitting around.
Down on Houston Street that way. You're gonna go past the fence that way.
You just gotta move that big rig.
Yep, I told him to.
I'm just going to look up that too while I'm thinking of it. Sorry for my clicky keyboard, by the way. I don't have a filter on my mic because I want to capture my whole range of my voice, and I found it kind of cuts off stuff, and I don't know. But anywho, the result of that right now is that my keyboard is super, super clicky. Can you have signs on public land like the Alamo? Don't mute the clicks. Click, 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 click. Let's see. Yes, so you can hold signs. It was saying something about like you can't plant signs, but I mean that makes sense, right? Because that would become a mess if everybody planted their signs, like political signs. I have no problem with them not being able to plant their signs, but yes, you can hold signs, but you must follow specific rules. There's a dedicated free speech zone located on the southern portion of Plaza de Valero, and it's marked with a large engraved star. Generally, you can hold signs while walking or standing on adjacent public sidewalks, provided you don't block pedestrian or visitor access. So, yeah, and it can't be self-promotion, donation links, or commercial advertising, but none of that is what he was doing. Always funny watching wannabes and officers attempting to abuse their authority while actively filmed. Right, isn't it? Dedicated free speech zone. That's called the U.S. I know. I was thinking the fact that they call it a dedicated free speech zone is so dystopian in itself. Like, you can have your free speech over there in the corner where we can try to make it so nobody can hear you. Okay.
Shut it down. So.
Oh, he looks suppressed.
Need you all to cooperate.
Did he say, remember the Alamo, stand your ground?
Not yet.
No, there's no problem with us.
Thanks.
We're good.
Wait, what did he say right before that about somebody looking oppressed?
Big.
Yep, I told him to shut it down. So.
Oh, he looks.
Signage here.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's probably not.
Signage here.
You know where the good locations are?
Yeah, I can tell you where to go. You can't do any filming or signage here.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's probably not very good for us anyway.
Kind of.
Where's like the place where people are the chillest? They're sitting around.
Down on Houston Street that way. You're gonna go past the fence that way.
You just gotta move that big rig.
Yep, I told him to shut it down. So.
Oh, he looks suppressed.
Need you all to cooperate.
Did he say, remember the Alamo, stand your ground?
Not yet.
No, there's no problem with us.
Thanks.
We're good.
So we set out to find a new location, and the best way to start, we thought, was to ask some locals, where's the best place?
Get a tip from this guy. What's going on, man?
Sign as you were going by. Hey,
yeah.
Thanks for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, hey, where's the best place to get people that may stop and talk?
But unbeknownst to us, something sinister was happening across town.
More on that later.
So
Quite frankly, probably, you know where the Whataburger is down here? It's
I can find it.
Pressa and Commerce.
That'll work.
Is Whataburger good? Whataburger? It almost sounded like Wada, like from New York City, like Wada. But Whataburger? Is anybody from Texas? I've never had that before. I wonder if it's like their, is it like their famous, is it just a Texas thing? Whataburger.
God bless
Do
you.
it. Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Unfortunately, after some time spent at some of these locations, it just wasn't that good.
There's got to be somewhere that's not a street corner.
That main thing that in the corridor with all the shops and stuff when we first arrived, we were looking down it. That thing looked good.
Okay. And we continue.
So we set off, right back to the location that we had started at. But we did meet one colorful individual along the way.
Get the fuck out of here. I hate you fucking son of a bitch. Don't fucking talk
What?
to me. Get the fuck with this shit out of here.
Does this remind you of something, or what's wrong with the problem?
Oh, the homeless person with the very strong opinions.
You got a problem with me or what?
I have no problem with you.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Without my fucking face. I'm trying to go.
Why does it make you so angry?
Because I'm sick. Get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Well,
you have a good day, all right?
you are sick.
We didn't do anything. We just showed you.
Did. Get the fuck out of here.
Showed you the murder of children. That's it.
You sure did. So that's why I'm gonna.
Don't talk to me. Proceeds to talk to him.
I'm mad with you.
Okay. You're not mad at it?
Homeless and fat. I'm impressed. Well, the thing about the homeless people asking for things on the corner that I don't understand is they can get food stamps. You don't even need an ID to walk into a SNAP benefits office and get food stamps. So to me, when they're standing there, it's like because they either don't want that food or they want money for drugs or something else, or food banks. Exactly. So I used to think, oh, like that's so sad, like we should give them food, but like they can get food. So that makes me think, like, what are you guys up to when you're doing this, then?
No.
Why would
you fake my fucking truth. Get the fuck out of my fucking face.
I don't even know.
Something tells me she's so crazy that she would have said this regardless of the sign, and she's just one of those crazy homeless people that yells at you when you walk past.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know what your problem is.
We call it panhandling around here, says Natsume Ayanami, and it can make up to $400 a day. That's crazy.
You got arrested?
What?
Where is he? What happened?
For what?
They're at where we have currency, where they're at. I saw where Cat was,
How in the world did he get arrested?
The man who's trying his hardest to not ruffle any feathers. Yeah.
It's unreal.
This next part is a lot of information, so I'm going to try to run through it as quickly as possible. The Alamo site is managed by Alamo Trust Inc. It's a non-profit, non-government agency that oversees the management of the site. Obviously, the government is not allowed to ban free speech on public property. One of the ways they try to get
Right, they can't. Oh, so they have a scheme to ban free speech.
away with it is by giving the management to a non-profit organization so that they can somewhat run it as a
Well, that shouldn't be allowed.
private entity. The problem is the land is still public. Until very recently, they have allowed free speech on Blum Street, which runs through it. And since they kind of know they can't get rid of free speech entirely, they have a free speech area. On this particular day, the free speech zone was closed because they had a parade for Fiesta.
Oh my god, the free speech zone was closed because they had a parade for Fiesta Week? What the fuck is Fiesta Week?
Week, and they had a bleacher on it. But
What is that? What is that it overrides our native US citizen right to free speech? What is Fiesta Week in Texas? Please tell me. What stupid thing is this? Fiesta Week is known as Fiesta San Antonio, a massive 10-day spring festival in San Antonio that celebrates the rich culture, history, and heritage. What about the rich culture, history, and heritage of free speech? It began as a event called the Battle of the Flowers. Stages a mock battle in front of the Alamo to honor the fallen heroes of the Alamo and the Battle of San Jacinto. Okay. Sounds like not a priority to this, but alright.
But now the Alamo Trust is claiming that the area where
There's, hello Aaron S3K2W. There's different homeless types. Drug addicts and mentally ill are the ones you see, but they're about a fourth. 75% have jobs but can't afford to rent yet. They look like they're not hobos and hide it. If you are operating on behalf of the government, you still have to protect the rights of the people. Well, this is just another stupid loophole that shouldn't exist. They get to turn it over to some non-for-profit so that they can, what would you say, subvert the laws of the nation? That's crazy.
Blum Street runs through is under their jurisdiction.
We're willing to make an exception here to allow you to go down over there at that. You see where that statue's at?
Statue not pictured on this map.
Wait. So they shut down the street is the idea, but the whole thing shouldn't even be an anti-free speech zone.
One of the ways they try to get away with it is by giving the management to a non-profit organization so that they can somewhat run it as a private entity. The problem is the land is still public. Until very recently, they have allowed free speech on Blum Street, which runs through it. And since they kind of know that they can't get rid of free speech entirely, they have a free speech area. On this particular day, the free speech zone was closed because they had a parade for Fiesta Week and they had a bleacher on it. But now the Alamo Trust is claiming that the area where Blum Street runs through is under their jurisdiction.
We're willing to make an
But it's a public street.
exception here to allow you to go down over there at that. You see where that statue's at?
Statue not pictured on this map. She's allowing us to go somewhere entirely off the Alamo Plaza. So she's allowing us to go away.
Of course.
You guys are more than welcome to go there.
That's fine, but we're not going to go there.
Okay.
I'm not going to go there.
Well, look, you're gonna be technically in violation of the
Well, you're gonna have to
ground
prove that to me.
regulations. Okay.
You're going to have to prove that to me.
I don't have to prove that to y'all. Okay. Y'all can go online and y'all can look that up.
I already know.
They don't even look like they're real cops. Are they just, they look almost like National Park Rangers or something of the Alamo. I wonder if they're employed by the non-for-profit.
Okay, so look,
What's your back?
Let's look it up. To the interwebs. It's like when they go to the map in Dora. Okay, let's see. What kind of cops patrol the Alamo Historic Site? Are they real cops? Spoiler alert, we wouldn't be surprised if they weren't. Okay, it does say that the Alamo is guarded by real state law enforcement. Texas Department of Public Safety, which includes the Texas Highway Patrol. Oh, that's so weird. I'm pretty sure the TikTok is showing this exact cop. It looks like her. That's funny. I'm on a different tab that I don't have shown right now, but you'll have to take my word for it. Okay.
Badge number?
this is 59.
Her patch says Texas Highway Patrol. Oh, it does. I didn't see that. You're right. Texas Highway Patrol. Why is the Highway Patrol in the Alamo? That is a great question. Why is the Highway Patrol in the Alamo?
45. This is what's gonna happen.
And what's
okay.
your name?
Look, if he's not going, yes, because there's.
People like the idea of free speech, but they don't want to be mildly inconvenient, so we have free speech zones. See, the thing is, I think they only like the concept of free speech for themselves, and when it's free speech that they don't like, then they're suddenly not for free speech. Then you're being hateful and an obstruction and violating every dumb regulation they made.
Down that alleyway.
Yeah, but that's okay. They
Woman
can be over
cop,
here too.
not a
We've
real
had
cop.
lot of
They're not
people
allowed
down.
to.
Yes, they
They're
are.
not allowed to.
Yes.
What's your badge number?
68645.
What's your name?
Zabo.
And your name?
Trooper Runde. You want to just call him and see if they have any kind of proof, but I mean, we don't need to prove it.
Did you catch that? See if we have any proof. I mean, we don't need to prove it.
Oh, they're staying with you.
Absurd.
Somewhere down there. I'm not going to.
So you are ultimately, you're cutting your own options that we're trying to give you.
Well, there's a thing called the Constitution. We have the freedom to
What the heck was that?
assemble and freedom of speech.
So, everyone is either going to move to the location that they're at, okay,
Am I under arrest?
you are about to be, okay?
Well, if I'm not under arrest,
Do
you
not
shouldn't
walk.
be touching me.
Do not walk.
I'm not
okay?
under arrest. I'm not under arrest.
You are detained
Well, what's
because
the
you are in
difference?
violation.
Look, the only thing Daryl's in violation of is looking too dang good in that shirt from store.abolitionists.com. Howdy, y'all. This here's Briscoe with store.abolitionists.com. Are you
Their
sick
channel
of being
is
an
great.
apathetic dirtbag? Are you fed up with wearing clothes that are by communists and homosexuals? Well, buddy, I got some good news for you. Today marks the beginning of our bigger than Black Friday blowout. We got some brand new items that you ain't gonna want to miss. You've got
Let
the
this
National
ad
Pension
play.
shirt, the Abortion is Murder tank top,
We
brand
need to
new
get me some
AHA
of
hats
these.
in teal and light
Some of
red,
this
and my
gear.
personal favorite, the Abortion is Not Healthcare tee. All of these are super comfortable, durable, and you look great too. And the best part is they're all on sale. Now you can bet your biscuits all these gonna sell out quick, so go on over to store.abolitionists.com and get them before they're gone.
This kind of
That's
thing happening in the Alamo is really
store.abolitionists.com.
sad. I need some of these shirts.
Store.abolitionists.com.
ChatGPT won't let me say abortion is murder on a poster. It irks me.
If I'm not under arrest, then I can.
Can you let me speak really quick?
I let you speak on time already.
Let me speak, okay?
I'm speaking.
You have two options here. You either have the option to take your whole group over there down to the corner, and if you do not, you are in violation, and I will have to issue a criminal trespass warning. Okay? And in that process, I need to.
I hope that they do take this. I hope that they do turn this into a lawsuit, because this seems like it would be a major issue.
Just to be clear, Daryl is under no legal obligation to show his ID here.
Okay.
Okay.
So, are you going to?
No.
Okay, cool. You're gonna have to ID yourself.
If I'm under arrest, then I'll ID myself.
You're gonna be issued a criminal trespass warning.
I'm not gonna ID myself.
Let me explain this really quick, okay? Because you're issued a criminal trespass warning, you're going to ID yourself. And if you do not, and you fail to do so, you are going to be placed under arrest for failure to ID.
I just don't get what they're being trespassed for. It seems like they're being trespassed because this non-for-profit made up that they have jurisdiction over a public land that they don't actually.
Does that make sense?
No.
I'm giving you.
Daryl's right. That doesn't make sense. You don't need to ID someone to give them a criminal trespass warning. You can warn anyone at any time, whenever.
One option to identify yourself, and if you do not do so, then you will be placed under arrest.
Well, again, if I'm under arrest,
you're being issued a criminal trespass warning.
Literally.
But how am I going to issue that?
Amazing that you be trespassed on public property.
well, again,
Does that make sense?
No, not really.
I need to issue a criminal trespass warning, and I don't know your name. How am I going to identify you?
So if I'm under a criminal trespass, then you need to arrest me, right?
No, I'm issuing a warning. I'm issuing a warning.
Are you going to ID yourself?
If I'm under arrest, I will ID myself.
Okay, so you're under arrest.
Yeah, you're about to be
I'm under arrest.
Turn around, sir.
I'm under arrest.
Turn around, sir.
Hernandez.
15209.
This is against the law.
It's against the law not to identify yourself.
Except that's entirely incorrect. Texas only requires you to identify yourself after you've been arrested, when you are driving, and if you are a licensed to carry holder carrying a handgun. Daryl isn't.
Oh, seems like they was wrong.
I said I was going to identify myself if I'm under arrest. Yeah.
That's not the way it works.
That's exactly the way it works.
You're getting arrested because you don't identify yourself.
Well, there it is. He's getting arrested because he didn't identify himself. Something that is not even a crime unless the circumstances I talked about previously were met, which they aren't.
You're like the most peaceful dude ever. Telling us where we shouldn't be and stuff.
So I would prefer if you guys not go into here doing abolition stuff.
By this tree is okay?
I would say not even there. I mean,
Wait,
like
so he was trying to direct them earlier to prevent this kind of situation, but then their out of control power trip is actually making the situation happen to the guy who was trying to prevent the situation in the first place?
which we are here, and that way, you know, down this hall is fine.
What's the deal? So what happened?
So they told us that we could be right here outside of that colored line.
Okay.
And that outside of that colored line, we're out of the Alamo's private property range. And they came up and told us.
But they're not supposed to. It's not private property.
It proved to us that we were on Alamo's property, and they just arrested him because he said he wouldn't move.
Ma'am, what's your
They're
badge
on
number?
the sidewalk.
What did he do?
Hey, you have to step over there, okay? This is my investigation. This is my scene. You need to step back. Go over there to the sidewalk.
I'm just wondering what he did.
Step over there to the sidewalk.
He's the organizer. He told us where to be.
Look, you're not allowed
to be
interfere in
peaceful.
this.
I'm not interfering.
Yes, you are. Step over there.
I'm just wondering. You're interfering.
there.
You're interfering. Oh, don't put your hands on me. I'm walking. I'm moving.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Step over there.
I just want your badge number
Gosh, I feel like the lady cops are the worst.
and your name.
15-9-45. Step over there.
15-9-45. All right, just not plainly.
Yeah, go ahead and.
I love how they're only arresting the one guy. LMAO makes no sense. Yeah, you're right. That does make no sense.
Step over there, buddy.
All right. No, I can stay here.
No, you need to step over there.
Exactly
or
why?
I will guide you over there. Okay?
You don't have to.
Yes, I will.
I just want to know what's
I'm
going on.
asking you,
This
and I'm
is such a
telling you
power
to
trip.
step over.
I also think women are more prone to doing this as cops because somebody was saying the last time I streamed that women are not able to counter with like mid-force.
That became a member.
Thank you for becoming a member, Broken Coon, a new Purple Crusader on YouTube. Oh, I turned on my YouTube memberships, and that's awesome. I didn't know it was going to notify me, so great. Thank you. Welcome. Glad you joined. I appreciate you. What was I saying? Oh, I think this happens so often with female cops because they don't have the ability to counter mid-level force, somebody was saying, which I completely agree with. And so they are treating it like they need to prevent things from happening before they've happened because they're not able to react with like the different levels that a male cop would more so be able to react to with force. And so they almost end up instigating situations because they get into these nitpicky back and forths ahead of time to try to control the situation, which just comes off as super bitchy and like you're on a power trip basically.
Over there.
It's just the feminist inferiority complex. What the fuck is a complex? Complex showing through the cops. Yeah, and I don't think they would be doing this if it wasn't over the abortion signs, which I think is the underlying thing here. The abortion signs trigger everybody, especially the feminists. And what kind of woman typically would go into a demanding career like a cop, right? Not always, but I would imagine most of the time they have lots of feminist ideas swirling around in their head. Welcome, purple guy. Welcome.
Okay, right here.
Step over there.
You want me to step through the flowers?
Yes. Go ahead, step over.
Yeah. We would like to talk to a supervisor. That's an official request for a supervisor to know what's going on.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's like a lot of injustice goes on by listening to the authority. I'm trying.
Mind you, these are the same people that are going to say, we shouldn't be listening to cops. They arrest black people. They're oppressing us. They're enforcing capitalism, whatever other type of dumb shit that these people say. But then now when a conservative is getting arrested for holding up anti-abortion sign peacefully, you need to listen to the authorities. Okay, bro.
Trying to
What are you cackling about, Essence Thief? What sneaky little thing are you up to? What do you mean I don't know yet, but I will? What is this about?
understand from the authority what the heck is going on. Yeah, it's just, is it just like one particular woman power tripping?
There's a couple more women power tripping.
It is women power tripping.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Yeah, just give me a call.
Can we get some information as to what happened?
Hey, I don't know. I wasn't there too.
That guy
Isn't that homeless lady following them around? She's in the background.
the most peaceful dude. We
fell to
These are the same F-GSs who shout at ICE. Exactly.
identify themselves. So.
No, he showed up and he told us where to stand, that he wanted all the people that he brought here
I'm not so
to
sure
stand.
on what happened when I was gone on the other side.
Yeah. Are you the supervisor?
No, sir.
Can we get a supervisor out here?
Yeah, they'll make it up.
Because, you know, sometimes you got like a lone police officer just power tripping.
No,
I
that's
don't know.
not the case, sir.
She be tripping, dude.
I can assure you that's not the case.
This guy has done nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing.
Not only did Trooper Arande arrest Daryl, but she also threatened to arrest women, children, and families.
Okay, look, you guys either move your stuff or I will CTW all of y'all. And if y'all fail to comply to that and give me your identification to issue that criminal trespass warning, you guys will all be arrested.
She is currently threatening to arrest all these kids.
Hey, thank you. We should move. We got that on recording and everything, so that's considered a use of force that we can bring law against. So
Yeah, excessive use of force. Gotta arrest all the 10 kids under 6 standing around.
yeah.
Why are y'all causing a scene? I don't get it.
They're saying that this is part of the Alamo property now, which
The Alamo property is actually public property, so what do you mean?
hasn't been before, so it's been down there. Yeah, and the other girls show me the map, and now the Alamo jurisdiction has changed. It's down here now.
Yeah.
So they don't want us on this, even though they have a freedom of speech circle, but it's covered up with.
Yeah, they said
That
there's
is
like
just the most memeable, ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Go stand in your freedom of speech circle, guys.
bleachers
And
on
I
it.
asked if we could stand over there by the side of it, and she said no. I guess we can't.
So it sounds like the idea is because they're doing this sneaky little thing with the non-for-profit, they're able to manipulate the laws whenever they feel like, or not even law, it's probably just a rule that they impose that doesn't actually supersede the laws about free speech and where you can go, but they have this sneaky little rule that they try to then get the cops to enforce, basically, because they're a non-for-profit, so they act like they're above the law, and then who's going to really follow through on this, / how many times are people actually going here and going to end up in this situation? So it basically just serves to prevent anybody doing anything real like this. Great.
It's the same thing as Scissortail Park. It's the same type of deal. It's a non-profit that manages it, but it's public land.
That should be illegal. That should be illegal, right? Like right now. We should just make that illegal. That's ridiculous. That's obviously a subversive measure to manipulate, or I shouldn't say to manipulate, to subversively be able to get past the actual laws of this country.
Yeah.
President can't do anything about local forces directly. Well, I think he should. People say he's so authoritarian. I would say just do it. Just make it a... Can't he federally declare that and Texas could sue them or whatever, but you can just send... I'm like so over the crazy shit that states get away with and that the federal government isn't just coming in and saying, okay, nope, we're going to enforce the federal law and you can fight the military on that, because things are so far gone. I understand that if things were like moving along civilly, we want the separation of state and federal government and all of that, but things are so bad that it's going to take like a heavy hand to come in and fix these problems. That's what I think, at least. Controversial opinion, but I'm over playing this bureaucratic game of like, oh, but the state's rights and the like, well, okay, that's all being corrupted on purpose. This is crazy.
And they don't have any right to do it. In case you don't know what I'm referring to, we had a very similar situation in Oklahoma, and you can watch that at this video.
I wish Trump was half the authoritarian the left thinks he is, says Imagine Gary Knows. I totally agree.
Yeah. No, she just doesn't know what.
I don't think there's a problem with nonprofits maintaining a public historical site, but the nonprofit has no authority over, or shouldn't have if they were given some. Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm saying the law should be made that they shouldn't be able to overwrite the laws of the land with their own rules. And if them controlling it is going to equal that ability, then I don't want them controlling it. But I agree with you that if them controlling it is still underneath the laws and that would be illegal for them to try to make their own rules above the law, then yeah, sure, whatever. Even though lots of non-for-profits are kind of questionable, I suppose it could be done in a way where it's not corrupt.
What she's doing, and it's what happens whenever you get a police officer who's post-abortive, I guess.
I don't.
Wait, what did he say? I missed that last 2 minutes.
It manages it, but it's public land.
Yeah.
And they don't have any right to do it. In case you don't know what I'm referring to, we had a very similar situation in Oklahoma, and you can watch that at this video.
Yeah. No, she just doesn't know what she's doing, and it's what happens whenever you get a police officer who's post-abortive, I guess.
I don't know all the details, but like.
So we're really concerned about showing it, but we're not concerned about doing it. Check. What's new? Just stupid.
I'm wondering if you just want to set up at the H&M, but...
Just set up where they arrested him?
Yeah, I mean, it's an option, but I don't know.
Do it. Show that poster. Yeah, if I dedicated my life to this, I'd be like, okay, we're gonna make a whole show of this. Arrest us all. We'll be on the national news station for this.
Since the cops are occupied, why don't we just do it right here?
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah, this walkway is good. Yeah. Free speech zone. Yeah. Because it's America.
Here we go.
The property.
I haven't been asked to leave the property.
Okay, well, I'm asking you now. Can you leave the property, please?
This property right here?
Yes, sir. This state property.
This is state property, so you have to leave. That's not how it works.
Okay. I was told that you were asked before.
I haven't been asked.
Okay.
I'm
you
just
please,
a street performer.
You cannot have anything set up.
Can I stay right
you
there?
You need permits.
Can I stand over there with the...
You can't go past. You see
with
that?
The street performer that's already performing here?
The gray line right there on the floor, you can go on that side.
On the other side of the
sir.
street
So
performer?
you haven't been asked to leave, right?
No.
No, you're asking me now.
Yes.
I'm just getting clarification.
Permits for what? Permits for fucking breathing at this point.
I can stand
Yes.
with the
Yes,
street
'cause
performer.
that's city property going from there over, all right?
I like this guy's voice. Does he work for the city?
I have no idea.
Have you asked him to move?
Yes, he's on the line.
Okay, I'll stand with him. He's kind of loud though. He's not. He's on the other side of the line.
He's literally on the other side of the line, but because he's not doing anything that's offensive to you, that's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't want you to move him. I
No,
just
he's
want you
not-
to.
he's not gonna
I don't want you to move him. I just want you to recognize the hypocrisy.
There's no hypocrisy, sir. It's a rule.
Yes, there is.
It's a rule that
Yeah,
you're not enforcing equally.
Yes, equally.
No, other people are doing other things,
Okay.
and you're not asking them to move.
Would you please go on behind
I'm
that line?
gonna stand with him. With him.
But we really weren't feeling standing in a corner next to blaring speakers, so Russell decided to walk around with the sign. No one told him not to do that.
Well, I'm gonna walk.
Yeah.
I'm walking.
Great idea. Just keep walking with the sign, not setting up anywhere.
Reckless love of God.
And Charlotte waiting for footage. She said she was going to arrest me if I didn't turn it off.
She's gonna arrest you if you didn't turn it off. Did you get that on film?
Wow. Wow. She was going to arrest an onlooker if she didn't turn off her camera.
Hey, I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm moving. Keeping the walking. I'm not stopping. Just in case you're undercover.
Good morning, sir.
What's up?
You're gonna have to move your camera, sir.
You said it was this line, didn't you?
No, sir. No, sir.
What is the line?
Here, it's all the way out. If you want to put your camera, you can put on the other side of the statue. The
You
last
said
statue at
all
end.
the way out?
All the way on the street, yes, sir.
How do
Or
people even
own the
access
city.
these shops without like something on their shirt and stuff
Say
like that? Like if someone's got like a political shirt on and they're walking through here and free
Yeah, I guess you're not allowed to go into the shops if you have a political shirt on.
speech isn't allowed.
You're setting up a camera here. You have a permit for this camera?
It's not commercial shoot. This is a free
It
speech.
looks like a commercial shoot.
If I had a camera on my chest, it's not a commercial shoot. It doesn't matter
So
what
it's
it
not a
looks like.
professional camera?
No, this is for free speech. What we're doing here is a free speech thing.
Professional camera, sir.
It doesn't matter if it's
They already asked
professional.
you to move from that side, right?
That's a
Were you on
professional
that side?
camera you're wearing right now. Right there.
It's a body camera.
I know, it's professional camera though.
Professional camera.
It is a professional
You need a
camera.
permit to be on the grounds with a professional camera. Right?
This is not a
Were you
commercial
informed?
shoot though.
That's not what I said. I said it's a professional camera. Right?
Okay. So if I carry it,
And like, I'm all, this might be controversial, but I'm all for people assimilating into our country, and the different races have lots of different things that are really cool to offer. But nothing more infuriating than somebody with a fucking accent telling you what you can or cannot do on your native soil. That is insane.
good.
No, you cannot be on the grounds with a professional. You need a permit.
Why?
Hey, a lot of
You
people
need
have
to
cameras.
ATI.
That's
Sorry, I'm
ridiculous,
talking to the
guys.
person.
You're just power tripping. All you guys
No,
are power
no,
tripping.
no, sir.
Yes,
You
you are.
already been
You are.
asked. You already
It
been
doesn't matter if you guys ask unconstitutional things and then you treat it like it's constitutional, but it's not.
It's a rule. Rules don't supersede the law.
This is a state. This is a state-owned property.
State-owned property.
Yes.
That's what this rule.
That means there's free speech rights here.
Hello, Zayla. Welcome. I'm doing great. How are you today?
This is a public easement. This is public areas where people can walk and do.
The direct wording of the first only restricts the federal government from infringing on people's rights, but as SCOTUS ruled, the Fourth Amendment gives the federal government the oversight to ensure states adhere to the federal due process type instances. So I don't know, Trump could probably do something, but he's been kind of lame in a lot of ways. I completely agree. That's my biggest criticism of Trump, is I wish he would do more. I understand in a lot of cases why he doesn't. Like, he has a life to live too, and there's a lot on the line. But yeah, I wish he would come out with a stronger force, or with stronger force on these issues, and just say like, no, we're not going to allow this in this country anymore. And if you're going to act this way, you're being so crazy and out of line that you're literally demanding that the federal government come in and deal with it. You know, it's like having classrooms, right? Like, teachers are supposed to be the ones that have the authority in their classroom, and if a principal comes in unreasonably and tries to run your classroom, I'm pretty sure you'd have an issue with the district where you'd be able to say, this is excessive, I'm being micromanaged, they're stepping on my authority within the role that I have as a teacher. But if something crazy was going on in your classroom and you are abusing your role and your power dynamic that you have as a teacher, then the principal or even the superintendent has every right to come into your classroom and take over. You know what I mean? So this whole like, oh, it's a separation. Like, yeah, it's a separation when you're not breaking the federal laws.
Shopping.
Still rules to it. Okay?
Yeah, there's rules that can't trample on the Constitution. I'll go if you guys.
I also saw your tweet about AC. I see more posts about AC. What is going on? Well, basically, the UK and all of Europe, as far as I understand, most of Europe doesn't have AC, and they've been gaslit into thinking like it doesn't work or it's going to hurt the environment. There's all these regulations, and they need to get all these things approved to be able to have AC. I saw something about people from Europe thinking that AC doesn't work because it makes more hot air outside of their house or something. Basically, it's this whole dystopian nightmare. Somewhere I'm actually going to cover too. I hope I have that link. I think it was in Germany where they shut off the AC, but only on the lower levels of their government building for the peasants and, you know, blue collar workers, and then everybody else got to still have AC on the upper floors. So, you know, the environment matters so much that the billionaires can always fly around on their jets, so to speak, or run their AC. That's so terrible for the environment, apparently.
Demand it if you're going to arrest me like you did with Daryl. You guys are a bunch of tyrants, and you need to know you're a bunch of tyrants.
They are tyrants.
We'd prefer it if you don't, you know, take people's tax money and pay these lawsuits. We don't want lawsuits.
Focus on people recording stuff.
So you're still standing over here?
No, I'm walking.
I'm gonna give you.
I am.
And you know, the other thing is a lot of schools too don't have AC. I've worked in schools before that don't have AC, which is fucking insane. And I know in Europe there's teachers, I think in France, I forget where, on strike because the schools don't have AC. And the thing is, people would say like, oh, like, that's so like weak, like for schools and for work, like to have AC. Like, what do people do before AC? It's like people don't work inside for 8 fucking hours a day on 100+ degree days when there was no air conditioning. They would have been like living rurally and able to go into lakes and ponds and rivers and cool off or have control over their schedule to work at night and sleep during the day, during the hottest part of the day. Like, what do you mean? It's just so it infuriates me. The air conditioning thing is a big issue, okay? I feel very strongly about the air conditioning, probably irrationally so, but just saying.
Walking.
Okay.
Around.
You cannot walk here. You can stand on that line and you can walk that way as long as you want. Okay?
I can walk. No, this is the public.
Sure.
Part. This is state public. No, I'm just walking around. I'm just walking around. I'm not trespassing anywhere. I am not trespassing. Why? What crime have I committed?
You're criminal trespassing.
I am not
You're
criminal
not
trespassing. I'm walking
It would
with.
be criminally trespassing. He's not even fucking saying the words right. Is that right? Wouldn't it be criminally trespassing, not criminal trespassing? Your criminal trespassing doesn't sound like proper English. Hello, my friends. What's the point of this discourse right now? Hello, Need Food. We're watching abolitionists rising get arrested for acting out their free speech on state land, but a private non-for-profit owns the land, so they're making their own rules to curtail free speech, even though that's legal. And also, we're bitching about how bad it is to not have air conditioning.
With my sign.
Stand right here. Stand right here.
Is that a lawful order to tell me where I'm walking?
It's a criminal trespass charge.
I saw somebody saying that it's not that hot for most of the time in Europe or in the UK, so AC is pointless. But couldn't you do what are they called? The mini splits where it's heating and cooling, so then you just use heating. And I saw somebody saying heating costs a ton or uses a ton of energy, similar to what cooling does. I don't know. I don't know about the exact details of it, but it seems like if the US can figure it out, then Europe should be able to figure it out too. And if you guys only need it for a shorter portion of the year, then that would be less that's needed to spend on it, and infrastructure wise and energy usage wise.
No, you're power tripping. I can give you my ID, but you gotta walk with me while you gotta walk with me.
Go to my unit right now, and you're gonna get a criminal trespass.
How does the government know if they use AC? Well, I guess they see the unit in their window, and then they knock on the door and tell them they have to take it down because they don't have a license for using the AC on a hot day. I guess that's the situation, Yanuka.
You don't want to do that.
Japan does it. They have per room AC. Oh, that's kind of a good idea. Sorry, I'm talking about this too much over this.
You're criminal trespassing.
I am not criminal trespassing.
No,
I'm walking with my sign.
Stand right here. Stand right here.
Is that a lawful order to tell me where I'm walking?
It's a criminal trespass charge you're gonna get.
not.
No, you're power tripping. I can give you my ID, but you gotta walk with me while you gotta walk with me.
You're gonna go to my unit right now, and you're gonna get a criminal trespass. You cannot come back.
You don't want to do that.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
You obviously don't want that.
No, you don't want to because it's not lawful for you.
It's
I'm
really
walking
not.
here.
It is lawful. You cannot be on the ground.
Guys, he said I is lawful.
Walking with a sign. Okay, you've been asked to leave.
You're telling me I walked over there because you were
Give me your driver's
harassing.
license.
Now I'm walking to the spot.
Give me your ID.
You can't have my ID.
Same was in the UK. They have people that go around and look in people's windows to see if they have a TV so they can find them for not paying for their TV license. Yes, I saw a TikTok about that. That's crazy. They should be revolting for that alone.
I'm walking to my spot. I'm walking to my spot.
Please stop. Stop.
You told me to walk.
No, I told you to stop.
I'm walking to my line.
Give
Hey,
me your ID.
that kind of
Give me your
hurts.
ID.
Don't do that.
I know. Give me your ID.
Can I get to my spot? I don't want
too late
to.
now.
I don't want
We're
to
past
stop
that, sir.
until I'm to
We're
my spot.
past that, sir.
Right here's where you told me to
Give me your
stand.
ID. Give me your ID.
What law have I broken?
You criminal trespassing now. Okay?
Criminal.
This guy can't even speak in full fucking sentences. I lawful. You criminal trespassing now.
Well,
Yes, give me
trespass.
your ID or you're gonna.
I walked over to see what you were doing
what,
with my
bro?
friend. Which way?
Which you wanna go with this?
I just want to do what I'm doing. Walk around, talk to people.
No, you can't do that. Okay? You already been asked to leave. Give me your driver's license.
When did you ask me to stop? Like,
I told you earlier.
And I moved.
That you could. And yeah, you keep moving back and forth. You cannot do that.
Yeah, because you were
This is the line you can
harassing.
be at.
No,
I'm
you were
harassing
harassing.
nobody.
I
I'm asking
walked.
people to move
Listen,
cameras.
listen. I walked over to where you were at because you were harassing the camera.
Gotta love going out to get into a debate with people over abortion and then ending up in a full-on debate with law enforcement over the First Amendment.
Guy.
No, I'm harassing nobody. I'm asking.
No, you were harassing
I
him.
like how the video basically turned into just that.
So I walked over there to him. I wasn't even doing this
Give me your
job.
driver's license.
For what crime?
For criminal trespass. You're gonna get a criminal trespass warning.
Are they criminal trespassing?
Give me your
Is she
driver's
criminal
license.
trespassing?
Give me your driver's license.
For what crime? What crime
already
have I
told you.
committed?
What's your name?
My name's Russell.
I'm
Nice to
Sergeant
meet you.
Roach, okay?
Thank
I'm one
you,
of the
brother.
sergeants here.
Sergeant Roach. Isn't that fitting?
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right, the reason why you're being asked to come over here is because first of all, the Alamo is a state-owned property. It's not owned by the city. It's
Yes, it's owned by the state. It's owned by the people of fucking Texas.
state-owned.
Yeah, this is state property.
Right, it's state
This is
property.
public
So
property,
being
state of
being,
Texas.
Being on the state grounds, they have rules. They have guidances. You
Yes.
have to follow them while you're here.
And I was following them.
Right. So.
Yes, I was.
So?
I was standing here.
So what are you
Then
gonna
he told
say,
me I could not
Orochi
have free
boy?
speech there.
Right, you can't.
And then I was like, okay, so I moved over here.
Right.
Then he started harassing the camera guy.
Okay.
Then
Is he even a police officer? He looks like a rent-a-cop.
Then-
If you're filming, you got to have a permit here on the ground.
you have to have a permit to
Yes,
film.
and that's through Animal Trust Incorporated.
So
So basically, we came up with a non-for-profit so that we could make you not have your freedom of speech and make up arbitrary laws that overrule the laws of the United fucking States. You can't have free speech there, right?
all these people with all their cameras.
Incorporated.
Hold on a second.
You know what's crazy? If the sign has a rainbow on it, they will not require a license.
The nonprofit, like there's a guy right.
I just looked it up. You can legally protest on state property. Yes, that's what I was looking up at the beginning of this. Insane.
There's filming.
Did you miss the Constitution in cop school?
Are you filming for the group or an organization and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm a.
Filming on behalf of all Americans who are being tyrannized. Is that a word? Tyrannized? I'm so worked up over this. Who are under the tyranny of these stupid fucking rules.
Street performer.
That's what I'm going at. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's through Animal Trust, all right? Because they run
We don't
facilities
care
and stuff
about
like that.
Trust.
We run the rules and the regulations.
Are you positive?
I guarantee it.
You are positive.
We've been here
Because
since
see,
July.
all I did was walk over there.
This is a lawsuit waiting to happen. There's no fucking way that their little trust law overrides the Constitution.
To see, I happen to own a sign, and I just walked over here, and this guy doesn't think that I can walk over to see.
They're trying the private establishment with public accommodation argument like it's a bar. I know. This was so obvious from the beginning. Russell should be calling their bluff. I agree.
What's going on. What if I was over there and I wanted to get a coffee?
Not allowed. Not allowed in America because we got a trust for you to tell you what not to do with our little stupid rules.
And this tyrant is gonna stop me and try to get my ID for criminal trespass for walking?
I wasn't here to. I'm gonna talk to him in a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
I'm here to hear your side of the story. Okay?
Yeah, and then the moment that I was like, okay, well, I'll walk back over here. I want to see what was going on.
Okay. All right.
But the thing is if you didn't want to like escalate everything, we could just, you know.
I can't believe that's his last name. How does one end up with the last name Roach?
Have a problem just staying here and doing your protests and stuff.
No, I have no problem. But if people are harassing my friends, I can lawfully walk to them.
Right, you can go with them.
And no one actually did tell me that I can't walk around with a sign.
Okay, well, you can't. If you're going to be going back and forth, showing...
That's actually not true. I looked that up before. I was saying you can walk around. You just can't plant it. You can't, like, make a setup, right? You can't build a structure to put your sign permanently on the street. But as far as I understand, you can hold it.
This sign, back and forth,
you're
going to have to be here. Because right now, our Freedom Circle is taken and covered.
Did he just call it a freedom circle? Guys, it's a fucking star with a circle around it. And this is the freedom circle that you can go in to say what you want where nobody can hear you. What is happening in this country? In Texas, let alone in Texas.
Yeah, because nothing screams freedom like a 12 by 12 circle on the ground that's so unimportant
Get
to
in your freedom circle!
them that they will just cover it up with a bleacher whenever they have a fiesta coming through.
So
what the hell?
Feeding circle?
Freedom
circle.
Feeding circle. Thank you for the follow, Kazinginithi. Did I say that the right way? Thank you. Roach living up to his name. This is where Russell says, okay, I'm going to continue my constitutionally protected protest, and you're going to have to arrest me to stop. I totally agree.
Freedom circle?
That's where everybody, like, if you're going to bring stuff and like that,
so
you're allowed
freedom
to do that.
circle, that's a meme right there. Get in the freedom circle.
The freedom circle, is there another one now?
Well, listen.
Somewhere?
I'm getting there, right?
Okay.
So if that's taken, the troopers can designate a place for y'all to do, like she's doing. She's complying.
She's complying under threat of arrest. And she's also only 2 feet away from this arbitrary line that they say is important.
She came right there and she listened to the trooper. And I asked her because I said, you're not, because then.
I saw this video was removed by Reddit, classic commie Reddit. Of course, when I first started VTubing, I put some of my links to my videos on Reddit. Like, I think I wrote posts or like reply to people just to see if I could get any traction there. And they removed me real quick. They were real mad about me talking about my opinions on Reddit. And I'm pretty sure it was on like anti-feminine. I forget what it was, what the subreddit was. Political stuff, I forget.
That's state property, so I asked her, I said, are you allowed to be here? And she goes, yes, the trooper told me I can stay there. And I said, okay, I get it. It's covered. She gave you another spot. So you're more than welcome to stay if you stay there with that sign. But if you're walking back and forth on the grounds, they're going to ask you to leave because you can't do that.
Okay, so my wife.
Feel like kindergarten, get into the timeout circle, exactly.
I'm not arguing with you, but my wife's over there.
Okay.
She calls me, hey, you know what, the kids are... Well, I'm not going to leave my sign.
Well, there's somebody else did.
I don't think you're supposed to leave your sign.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you can't walk with your property to your wife.
Okay. But if you're going to be, you see where it's kind of drawing the line there. If you're walking back and forth with this sign, even though we're giving you the opportunity. To,
well, see, I didn't know that was a. No one had told me that you can't walk around with a sign.
Pretty sure that's not true at all. Let's see. Can you walk around with a political sign at the Alamo? They're just referencing their stupid fucking free speech zone. That's ridiculous. You can hold a sign in the designated area. So the problem here is that the rule itself is unconstitutional, and that's what needs to be challenged. That's fucking crazy. Texas, you're supposed to be the free, not the absolutely cucked.
Because I'm from America. I get these things.
But isn't that unconstitutional? Question mark? This is just Google's AI because I'm not signed into Grok right now. So we'll see. Google AI could be a little bit questionable. This is stupid. It says the legality of free speech zones at the Alamo hinges on the legal definition of what kind of public property it is. While the First Amendment broadly protects political speech in public spaces, the U.S. Supreme Court allows the government to enforce time, place, and manner restrictions under specific circumstances. Well, that sounds unconstitutional, and that should be overthrown. What kind of fucking ruling is that? Traditional public forums versus non-public forums. Under the First Amendment law, the government cannot easily restrict speech on traditional public forums, such as standard public sidewalks and city parks. However, courts have repeatedly ruled that specific historic sites, military bases, courthouses, and specialized government properties can be classified as non-public or limited public forums. The state's position is that the Alamo Trust and the state of Texas manage the site primarily as a historic shrine and museum. Legally, they argue that the interior grounds are not a traditional open public square, allowing them to limit political advocacy. Well, then that should be fucking overthrown. We shouldn't have that. That's absolutely ridiculous. What do you mean that we're allowing state land that's owned by the citizens of Texas to fall under some unaccountable non-for-profit that violates the Constitution? Like, I don't really care who says this is okay. This is obviously not okay. And then it goes on in the, I'm not going to read you the whole AI response, but it goes on to say, like, you might find free speech zones philosophically troubling. Philosophically troubling? This doesn't make any sense with the Constitution, with the laws of our land. It's not just philosophically troubling. It's downright unlawful. It's compromising. It's hypocritical. It violates the law. What? Okay, let's keep listening.
Mixed up.
Yeah, not a problem.
See, I do this.
There are businesses line the streets. That is a public space. Exactly. That's not like inside of a museum. And even then, I mean, isn't inside a little bit different than outside in public? I don't know. Like, this is the land. This is not inside of a building.
It's all over the place.
Right.
And generally speaking, when we've had this happen in other public parks, in other states,
Can I ask you a
they
question
say
real
the
quick?
same thing.
Did you take the time to look at the rules for the grounds?
I did. After they arrest my friend, I looked at it.
After you
this
got
is. What does that matter?
If you're going to come here, if you're going to come onto
No,
the
no,
property,
it doesn't matter. So this is Texas.
I would even give them that. Like, your law is wrong. Your law is unconstitutional. Unconstitutional laws get overturned. Like, what is it? Like, but my rule book says, like, okay, we don't give a fuck about your rule book.
Right, it's Texas.
In the United States of America.
Now, you may love Texas, and I don't blame you if you do, but you should know that Texas is one of the worst states we've been to for free speech on public land on traditional public forums.
The general right to free speech, press, assembly, religion, those are the things that you can generally practice still in this day and age in the public.
Right, you can. We're not stopping you.
No, so I know enough.
Right.
Right? The problem is police officers and state troopers don't know enough. And if you happen to draw a good one, fine. If you draw a bad one, it's bad for you. Because they're uneducated, they don't know what's going on, they've been getting a badge and a gun. It's power trip time.
I got you.
Power trip time.
You know, if the rules are, which I think they're invalid.
They would have already arrested him if they were sure they were right. I think that's true.
But if, just for the sake of peace, if the rules are, you want us to stand here, that's cool.
Right.
If the rules are, we can't walk around, but if we want to walk to get coffee or talk to someone or something like that, we have to abandon our property somewhere and then walk through there. Or
That's
Hernandez here is going to grab my
Like, you
arm
know
and try
what
to
you're
put it behind
fucking
my
doing.
back and ask me for my ID when I've not broken any laws.
Okay. It's not that you're breaking the law. You're violating the rules of the ground.
Yes, we are not breaking the law. We are breaking...
You're not breaking the laws. You're breaking the rules on public property, but we're going to try to treat it like we're a private business because that's how we get around the law.
the rules. But I thought these were law enforcement officers, not rule enforcement officers.
Got him.
I would like to press charges. He assaulted me.
You can take it up to the district attorney's office.
Thank you for the follow.
He put his hands on me while I was walking away from him.
You have ways to go through that. If you want to file a complaint, file a complaint.
I don't know if he's worth it.
All right, well, regardless, we need to get an understanding, right?
Yeah,
All right.
I know what I can and can't do.
You know it now,
according to what you're saying. Yes.
Okay, then we'll leave it like that.
Yeah.
You stay here. There's no problem. We're not taking away your freedom of speech.
Are there any are there any police officers that aren't with the state troopers?
No, this is state.
It's just only state troopers.
State troopers are responsible jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So, but,
I was just for clarification.
No, you're good. You're good. So you do understand? Okay.
Yeah.
Designated you a second spot. We're not.
Rules of the ground that we made up right now, and you have to believe this is true.
So this is the only line I know about, though.
Well, everything, because it's really funny, because like at the corner of that, it comes straight across. So that side is state property, this side is city.
Yeah,
So,
the nonprofit group runs that spot.
I'm not sure. All I know is
Right. How does that make sense? So they're saying you could be on this side because it's city, but you can stand in the freedom circle, the free speech circle on the side that the non-for-profit controls. So now we're letting a non-for-profit decide on the freedom of speech? What?
that the boundary line is here. City's this side.
You're 100% positive.
Guaranteed.
State troopers enforcing the rules for a private organization. If that isn't a government actor, I don't know what is.
Like you're basing everything on this.
This is state grounds, and that all of the traditional free speech rules apply to public grounds.
Every site's different. Every site has rules and stuff.
Colleges can do this too. We do this all the time on a lot of places that are not considered traditional public forums.
I bet the Alamo Trust is full of woke leftists. Oh, I'm sure it is.
But this is a traditional public forum, and even like a college has more right to restrict time, manner, and place restrictions than something like this. This is walk through it. You can do whatever you want.
Also, every place you go to.
Right, some of those rules are wrong, right?
They're not all the same. I'm not saying they're wrong.
Do they write their wrong rules sometimes?
They do. But regardless, if that's the issue, you should take it
I
up.
think the angle here should really be to go ahead, get arrested, and then to make a big deal, a big lawsuit out of how this rule is unconstitutional and should be allowed to be made in the first place.
Other than here, take it up to the Alamo Trust, Governor Land's office. Those are the rules. That's the way you should.
If they write the rules, you guys have to enforce them. That's the thing. It's like you guys have to enforce rules that are unconstitutional.
Yeah, and the police department or the state troopers, they should also be sued for enforcing the rules of a organization that is not the government over the actual rules, over the actual laws of our country. That's crazy.
And you have to make a decision whether or not you should do it or not.
There are such rules. We have the right to protect the Constitution, which we do, and we're not going to break it.
Like, I feel like you're not going to get into an effective back and forth with the cop to change his mind on it, but I do think going after who they work for and, like I said, getting the rule basically obliterated because it's unconstitutional would be the route to go here.
But these are some rules.
No, you're breaking the Constitution this whole time, man.
We have the right to assembly, and we have the right to free speech. We have the right to the press. Right. And you guys are arbitrarily determining that camera is a professional camera, and therefore we have to move. It doesn't make any sense.
We're not stopping you from freedom of speech. We're giving you an opportunity to preach or to protest what y'all want to protest.
Well, I'm not protesting. I'm talking to people.
You're not giving. Whoever owns this is supposedly giving us that opportunity. Right. You guys are not.
Yes, we did. We gave you that freedom circle. It was covered.
We gave you that freedom circle. Welcome to America. Here's your freedom circle. Don't say anything that offends anybody ever, except for you can go over there where nobody can hear you and have your freedom. $9.99. You can buy it at Walmart and go stand over there by your own self, where you can't actually talk to anybody or influence anybody's opinions. Okay.
And that lady right there is doing exactly what she was asked.
She doesn't want to go.
Alamo Trust Incorporated.
Alamo Trust Incorporated.
Which they have no right to.
We're not telling you can't do it.
I think this all started in one power.
But you can do it there.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
We can't do it.
So, anyways, do you understand? We're going to let you be, but you got to follow the rules on the grounds, okay?
Yeah. Well, we want to follow the rules.
Well, the rules that are established here on the site.
Can you show them to me?
You can go on the Alamo Trust, look it up, and look up the rules of relevance. They're on there. They're posted for the public. It's available to the whole public, so you can look it up and find it, okay? So, all right. Be careful.
A trust that is managing
I don't know
property.
anything about
it's
trust.
not private property.
I'm just telling you what GLO, government.
So what I'm saying is that rules. So we're going to probably continue to do what you don't want us to do because it's against your fake rules.
Yeah, so we really don't like getting pushed around by the cops in places that are traditional public forums. So Russell had to push it.
Well, I'm going to stand here and pass stuff out in the middle.
Abolitionist Rising is coming to Boston, and you're invited.
Wait, is that it? You're not going to get arrested? He's not going to get arrested?
This here, the status quo pointing us.
Register now.
Let me just tell you truth. Glorious.
Okay, I think this is where he's passing it out. Maybe?
If our aim is to really glorification pointing us.
Register now at abolitionistrising.com/we will be heard.
Next episode, I guess they're going to Boston. But
That guy's advertising Rage Against the Machine. Walking with his billboard on his chest. How y'all doing? Good. Hi, fist bump. Oh! That was the best fist bump I've ever had. I like how Chelsea's there with the sign in the thing. And the state troopers are sitting there talking to other law enforcement people, and they're like, yeah, stop pressing this. It's gonna be a lawsuit. We don't even roll that way, really.
they should.
Waste our time with lawsuits. We're supported by monthly donors, not legal lawsuits.
I mean, they really ought to take up the lawsuit route here. This is ridiculous.
Want to check that out? Yes, sir. Hits pretty hard. When you open that up, try to get one of these, hand them out. I mean, it's crazy that they're letting me do this. I'm literally walking around handing things out to people.
Can you give the link for the video? Yes. I can give the link for the video, actually. Let me make sure I got the right link for you. Copy. Paste. There you go. Has a link.
It's just the signs. Y'all want to check this out? All right. How y'all doing?
Just walking around doing what the wife told me to do.
That's what I do. Hey, you'll live long and prosper that way.
One more time. You cannot be on
What?
this ground soliciting
You just
either.
let them be on this ground for the whole time.
Okay. So you stand on that line over there. You're good.
You can't hand out stuff out here either?
Okay.
Man.
That's solicitation. Okay. So would you?
I'm not soliciting. I'm not soliciting.
Please stand behind the line.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm not soliciting. That, just for your dictionary knowledge, soliciting is when you're asking somebody for something.
I saw you talking to those
Just
people
so
over here,
you
so
know.
I don't know what you.
Did you hear what he said?
Soliciting.
Sir, would you
So
please stand on
it's
that
spelled
side
SOLICI. So soliciting.
So you're gonna be on that side.
It's from the word solicit.
They
like,
actually
if
are
I were like,
making
hey
things
man,
up.
would you give me some money? That's soliciting.
Well, you just did it.
Oh my
You're a
god.
child.
This guy is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
You are a child. I was giving you an example. Tyrant. I appreciate that. We're not going to get any videos from here because the cops won't let me hold the signs. It's like, I got to ask my overlords. Where's the real triggered guy? I have to walk with my signs from where they're at over to there. And I don't want them to like, you know, wrench my arm because I'm just trying to go somewhere.
Okay, so if you guys are trying to leave, like I said,
Yeah.
we were giving you the opportunity to go on the city property, which is going to be by the Starbucks, where you're still at right now, pretty much.
Yeah, we're just moving over to that
Yeah,
corner.
that's fine, yeah.
I thought they
Well,
said it
keep an
wasn't
eye out for
okay to walk
Hernandez.
with their signs.
You know, I think Daryl should sue.
He should.
What's up, First Amendment lawyer?
He absolutely should.
So what did you say to the officers?
So what I explained to them was that you guys were engaged in protected First Amendment protected activities. That I recommended that she get with the other officers that are actively involved in the arrest, and that she tell them that if they don't release him immediately, we are going to sue each of them individually in their personal capacities, and they will not have qualified immunity because this is established case law.
Good.
They cannot do what they're doing. And then just recommended that she tell the other person that I identified myself by my name, my law firm, and my website, which is our website, ISueBadCops.com, and I told her
ISueBadCops.com. Love it.
one of those bad cops I have to sue.
Oh, you didn't. You missed his. He just winced whenever they're unlocking him. Sorry.
Wait, are they letting him go? Hey. Because you're all gonna get sued. That's why.
Yeah. Well, they're realizing their rules are all jacked up.
Great. Love to see.
Daryl, I was going to pay you $100,000 an hour today if you engaged people.
If I what?
If you engaged people
Yeah.
for each hour that you were engaging, and I was going to give you $100 grand.
I would appreciate that.
So then if we
But you didn't. You didn't engage anyone.
I wasted my time sitting in a vehicle.
Yeah, what was it called? 1-800 I Sue Bad Cops. Is that what it was called? Okay. That was a good one, though. Very relevant, timely. This is what's going on in our country. Even in the state of Texas, nowhere is safe. So be careful out there. We're going to watch another one. Another video to react to. This is from Paul Joseph Watson. You won't believe what she said. And this should also be a enraging one, but it'll be good. It'll be entertaining. Okay, let me switch this. This one's a short one.
She just came right out and admitted it.
En réalité, cette journée est quand même extrêmement intéressante idéologiquement parce que vous dévoilez vous-même, à l'extrême droite, vos petites obsessions racistes.
I don't know where this is exactly.
This is Clémence Guyette, MP for the far-left France Insoumise and Vice President of the National Assembly. What racist obsession is she talking about? Firstly, arranged marriages, or more accurately, forced marriages, which apparently are so rare in France as to almost be not happening at all.
Le premier texte vise donc à lutter contre la...
Let me take that away so we can hear that.
Which apparently are so rare in France as to almost be not happening at all.
Le premier...
Okay, hold on a second. Let me go back because I realized that it wasn't transcribing. And if you're listening and not watching, then you won't have any idea what she's saying. So let me switch. Hang on one second. Okay.
Came right out and admitted it.
En réalité, cette
She
journée
said, in reality, this day is still
est quand même extrêmement intéressante
interesting from an ideological standpoint.
Parce que
Because you yourselves are revealing to the far
vous
right
dévoilez vous-même, à l'extrême droite, vos petites obsessions
your little racist obsessions, is what she said.
This is Clémence Guyette, MP for the far-left France Insoumise and Vice President of the National Assembly. What racist obsession is she talking about? Firstly, arranged marriages, or more accurately, forced marriages, which apparently are so rare in France as to almost be not happening at all.
Le premier texte vise donc à
The first text, therefore, aims to fight against so-called fake
lutter contre les mariages dits simulés ou arrangés.
or arranged marriages. There is a group, the one for lovers.
Il y a un collectif, celui des amoureux au banc public,
There's
qui a
a group, one for lovers on the public bench, that showed fewer than
montré que
400
moins de 400 mariages par
marriages per
an
year were
étaient
annulled
annulés ou
or
suspectés d'un tel
suspected
motif.
for such
So
a
rare.
reason. Hold on, what was the last thing? Later in your day, and then it cut off.
So rare, in fact, that a mere 200,000 women in France are affected by arranged marriages, a practice imported from North Africa.
So basically, as far as I understand, she is standing on the side of letting the foreigners do these arranged marriages and calling it racist that people want to get in the way of the arranged marriages that are now coming into this country. The headline of this says, "We agree to give you our daughter, the scourge of forced marriages in France." Forced marriages targeted by the law against separatism are estimated to affect some 200,000 women in France. The practice, which involves issues of identity, is largely imported from North Africa and West Africa. He might read that too.
Africa and West Africa. She's also mad at right-wingers in France for trying to
course.
pass a bill to encourage more French people to have children.
Et puis plus tard,
Next, they're going to be promoting female genital mutilation in Europe at this
dans la
rate.
journée, vous dites « Mais les gens en France ne font pas assez d'enfants. » Alors même que vous aurez...
Wait, let me catch that.
journée, vous dites « Mais les gens en France ne font...
And then later in the day, she says, and then later in the day, you say,
dites « Mais les gens en France ne font pas
the people in France do not have enough children, even though you started
assez d'enfants. » Alors même que vous aurez commencé la journée par
even
mettre
though
des
you
bâtons...
started the day by putting roadblocks, sorry, it's going kind of fast, by putting roadblocks in the way of those
journée par mettre des bâtons dans les roues dans celles et
who
journée
want
par mettre des bâtons dans...
to build their lives in our country, to get married and start a family. So she's saying this is exactly what they always say in our country and all of the West. Oh, the birth rates are low. Let all of the illegal immigrants and unassimilated immigrants come in and they'll have lots of children. Stop complaining about our birth rates. Just let them repopulate the country. This is insane. I feel like I'm living in a upside down world where conquering never happens and wars never happen and people never take over other countries. And we're just letting that happen as if all of history hasn't been a fight over different geographies and peoples. This is wild.
Dans les roues dans celles et ceux qui veulent faire
to build their lives in our country, to get married, to start a family,
faire leur vie dans notre pays, se
put their children in the school of the republic,
marier, y fonder une famille, mettre leurs enfants dans l'école de la République,
and simply participate in today's citizenship. Except not actually participate in what today's citizenship means, huh?
Et tout simplement participer à la citoyenneté d'aujourd'hui.
And I'm telling you, hold on.
D'aujourd'hui.
And I'm telling you, in reality, you are truly causing pain because...
The same woman preoccupied with other people's racist obsessions then reveals herself to be preoccupied by a racist obsession of her own.
Et je vous le dis, en réalité...
And I am telling you, in reality, because you are truly causing pain because...
vous faites de la peine parce que c'est une bataille que vous avez...
That this is the battle you have already lost. Oh, thanks for telling us. So first, mass re-immigration wasn't real, but now it's real and it's a good thing.
Vous avez déjà perdu. Vous avez perdu.
You have lost the racist ideological battle. Wow, she's saying the quiet part out loud.
La bataille idéologique, raciste. Aujourd'hui, un Français sur 3.
Today, 1 in 3 French people is already connected to immigration.
Est déjà lié à l'immigration. Donc remballez.
So pack up your latest survival bill proposals.
Vos dernières propositions de loi.
Dude, these are fighting words. This is fucking crazy. I'd be enraged if I was a French citizen. I am enraged, and I'm not even in France.
Survie pour
to try to preserve your so-called native French people. What is going on in reality right now? Are you serious? But then they all get to be their native people and have their little stupid fucking traditions, and that's all real. But French people or Western people or European people or American people don't get to have their own native culture. What is happening? This is crazy subversive. I can't believe she's saying this outright.
Pour essayer de préserver des Français dits de souche, en réalité des
in reality, white French people, because that's where your problem lies.
Français blancs, puisque voilà là où est votre problème. Vous
you can't stand people
ne supportez pas les personnes.
But that's not hateful at all, okay?
Qui viennent de
you can't stand people who come from immigration and you spend all your time voicing
et vous déroulez à longueur de temps vos obsessions racistes.
Your racist obsessions. Oh, okay. A little projection there, lady. Today's bills prove it.
Ces textes aujourd'hui le prouvent.
Wow,
holy shit. Whew, that one made me really mad. Crusade them out. But we haven't lost the racist ideological war. Weaponized delusion. Shame. She's kind of pretty, but the bullshit vomit coming out of that mouth is wild. Why doesn't she just move to West Africa if she likes it so fucking much?
Tell us what you really think.
Not subversive, treasonous. I don't understand why we don't prosecute for treason anymore anywhere. Like, that just doesn't happen? Treason isn't real anymore? Nothing is real? Truth doesn't exist? Definitions don't mean anything? Except what they want them to mean, apparently.
France has reached such a critical mass in terms of the number of people.
It's so disgusting. It's absolutely infuriating. It makes me really mad.
It's imported. Macron's justice minister recently called for a 3-year total halt to legal migration. As Ground News' biased comparison coverage shows, leftist media outlets framed the policy itself as a dangerous
How dare we have a country anymore? How hateful and racist of us for having a country.
Escalation. Ground News helps you instantly compare how the same stood worldwide. Spectrum. Identifying media bias and how they spin valuable using my 40 access plan. The media repeated limited access plan. But hold up a minute. The media repeatedly told me that this was all a hateful conspiracy.
Oh yeah, I thought the Great Replacement theory was just a conspiracy, guys.
Lie. Just don't mention what percentage of the French population believe it.
6 out of 10 French people mention a replacement of the population. 66% are worried about it. And that was in April.
It's happening. It's wrong. It's a myth. It's just not happening. Except when they talk about it, in which case it suddenly becomes true, inevitable, and a good thing.
Vous avez perdu la
This is just her repeating the same thing she said before. You have lost the racist ideological battle.
Idéologique.
Because we won our racist battle. Like, what are you talking about?
Raciste. Aujourd'hui, un Français sur trois est
Today, 1 in 3 French people is already connected to immigration.
déjà lié à l'immigration.
I'm struggling to comprehend how and what we've lost, given that we're militantly reassured on a daily basis that diversity and multiculturalism is beneficial for everyone in society, as further evidenced by what happened during last weekend's Fête de la Musique in Paris, a joyous occasion safely enjoyed by people of all colours and creeds, especially women. Just don't mention
London is 36% white English. It used to be 90-odd 40 years ago.
And the mass brawls, S attacks, and general violent bedlam. None of that happened either.
Yeah, I think this happened recently at some type of event in France. I have no idea what they're saying. They're just yelling in maybe French or other languages. Attacking a car.
To say all this is just a baseless conspiracy theory, they sure do like to talk about it a lot.
I want to ask you migrants and racialized people
que por favor no nos dejen
not leave us on our
con
own
tanto facha.
with all these fascists.
Y claro que sí queremos que
And of course we want them to vote.
Claro que sí. Hemos conseguido
Absolutely,
papeles.
we've managed to get them papers.
Regularización ya.
Regularization now. And next we're going to get them
Por la
citizenship. We
nacionalidad.
want to import our vote because our opinion is so unpopular that we have to quickly force a bunch of people into the country and get them to vote on our behalf. What is going on?
O a cambiar la ley para que puedan
Or change the law so they can vote.
votar, por supuesto.
I hope that replacement theory
teoría del reemplazo.
can help us sweep this country clean.
Ojalá podamos barrer.
Dude, at this rate, we need to start deporting citizens of treason.
Fachas y de racistas.
Of fascist and racist people.
Este país con gente
with migrants, says the literally racist person up here wanting to use their authority to change the law and force feed foreign immigrants into our country to make them vote in our elections. And sweep the country clean of fascists and racist people with migrants and with working class people. Of course, I want there to be a replacement. Replacement of fascists, replacement of racists, replacement of freeloaders. Well, apparently not replacement of freeloaders because we all know how many immigrants are on fucking welfare. And I want us to do it with
y que lo podamos hacer con la gente trabajadora de este país.
The working class people of this country. You mean the people from foreign countries who come in and take the working class jobs of the native-born citizens? No matter their skin color. Well, apparently you care about their skin color.
Color de la piel que tenga, sea china, negra,
whether they're Chinese, black, or brown.
Marrona, con todas.
You didn't say white! With all the working class comrades. She literally called them comrades of this country.
We've seriously entered the mask-off moment, haven't we?
That was even worse than I thought it was going to be. Jesus Christ. Okay, so there's that. I have a bit of a palate cleanser, if you will, for us. It's actually about French people. It's about French women. If you guys didn't see, Clavicular went to France, and we had been following his little dating harem over the past few months. And he also got some surgery on his nose, but I think he's becoming like one of those plastic surgery cases of women where they can't accurately see what they look like in the mirror, because I actually think he made his face look less masculine with the plastic surgery. Like, I think he's kind of going off the deep end. But he went to France, and I guess he was with this other French guy, maybe an influencer. I don't know who the other French guy is, but I think he's famous. But what's really interesting about this clip is that it appears that Clavicular doesn't realize that he gets female attention in our country because everybody knows he's famous and rich and for having clout, and that he thinks it's just for his looks, or I guess his approach, because then he went to France and these women do not know exactly who he is, and he is just striking out hard, and he has like no game talking to them. It's actually coming off pretty creepy, and it's just it says clavicular Braden Peters, the supposed looks maxing alpha bro, being exactly like you'd think he would be, and it's hilarious. And this is actually quite funny. Let me make it a little bit smaller so you can see the whole video. Okay.
I don't mean to bother you while you're working, but you're very pretty.
What do you want?
I said I don't mean to bother you while you're working, but you're very pretty.
Thank you for the follow, Mad Max 4201.
With tequila shots? Yeah, thank you.
0% interest.
What are you doing? What are you doing tonight?
I hate when people. Oh, hey, ladies. What's up? Oh, no English? Wow.
Completely ignored.
I want to give you guys some roast.
I thought this was super creepy too, this part. Hold on.
Of course. You guys look very beautiful. So, hey, if you want to roll with us, we're gonna head to one of the clubs.
Yeah, we got better plans than whatever you'll have planned.
Promise.
Okay, like what does that mean? It's weird that they're not even like flexing their wealth. Like we're gonna do this, that, or the other thing. But like we got better plans than what you got. This actually gave me the vibe. Well, I'll tell you in a second because some of the later clips are even more like what I'm about to say.
That.
What are your plans?
Nah, you tag along and find out.
Listen, yeah, you just gotta look at us and trust us a little bit.
Yeah, they're just gonna follow some strange men in their country to just go look at you and trust you a little bit because you got better plans than they've got. Like the ick is over 9,000.
What do you think? If you want to take a leap of faith that will show you a good time, then tag along. Whatever. We'll grab one of your numbers. If not, have a good rest of your night.
Thank you. And like, what an awkward game. Like, if you want to come with us, you can, and if not, that's okay too. Like, did you think they didn't think it was okay if they don't come with you?
We have other friends.
Good lord, this is like watching a Reddit mod try to flirt.
Coming with them.
Alright,
well,
you're lost.
Yeah, we'll let you guys have a good night.
Because French girls are different also, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
In Miami, you go up, you say, hey, slut, you want to fuck? And it works.
Yeah, here it doesn't work like that.
Well, I was going to say, I've been having a good time, though. French girls are pretty, you know, like yourself. So, I said, how
She said you too.
are you enjoying your night so far?
It's okay, but
Well, let's make it a little better than okay. Why don't you guys come with us? We'll take you to the club. It's going to be a lot more fun than whatever you have planned.
Like, what does that mean? Are you gonna abduct me? What kind of pickup line is that?
What, you don't trust me?
I don't know.
We'll show you guys a good time. Plus, it's nice to walk around with a pretty girl.
Like, he didn't even compliment anything in particular about her. What kind of compliment is it's nice to walk around with a pretty girl? Like, okay, who the fuck are you?
So plus, it's nice to walk around with a pretty girl.
I didn't drink enough.
I didn't drink enough, she says.
You didn't drink enough?
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
You have very pretty eyes. I like that. How you doing?
I just said when I walked in, I said...
Wait, let's see that part. Hold on. This part really reminded me of like middle schoolers going up to a girl's lunch table and in the cafeteria and trying to pick them up in the most awkward.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
You have very pretty eyes. I like that. How you doing?
I just said when I walked in, I saw
nice.
you. You look cute.
So your first, what's your name, sir?
Cloud.
So man, that's
Cloud?
nice.
I don't really know why he's wearing that either. He looks a little bit questionable in his sexuality right now. Hold on, lost my thing.
Fresh, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm known for, like live streaming.
Like, imagine having to pull out your phone and be like, I'm actually a live streamer.
Yeah, I'm just spectating.
If you want to join me and him, we'll show you a good time later.
Okay, no.
I'm hanging out with my friends right now.
She says, I'm hanging out with my friend right now.
Hey, listen, I said later, you know, if you want to come to the clubs, that's totally fine. If not, all good.
Like, imagine saying if you want to come to the club, totally fine. If not, that's all good. Like, they know it's good to not come with you. Did they think that was not going to be okay?
All right, take care. Bye.
Imagine making this your brand and you don't understand how to talk to women. I know! He knocked himself down a bunch of points by this performance alone.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling us, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he also kissed a transgender person unknowingly recently. I'm not going to pull up the video, but I think it was a guy to girl, and I'm pretty sure he made out with the trans person and didn't know.
Really? Really? The no IOI? Bro.
The secondhand shame is absolutely brutal. It hurts. She wasn't feeling our vaguely rape-coded invitations, literally. That's gay, bro.
Whenever I walk by a girl and there's no IOI, I'm like, what the fuck, am I being trolled? Like, they must be a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, right? Like, that's the only logical.
They just don't want to get.
I'm sure that's what it is. Yeah, so that was a little bit awkward. I figured I'd share the awkwardness with you guys so you can enjoy it. Okay, let me switch. So this video I wanted to watch, I have not watched it yet, but there has been some ongoing back and forth between the Protestant and the Ortho Bros community online with David Wood and Jay Dyer, which I haven't followed super closely, but I have seen a little bit of it pop up. And after this, I'll show you Andrew Wilson, who's Orthodox, tweeted at David Wood for a debate and then kind of immediately moved the goalpost in his second tweet after that. But I will show you guys that after this. But I haven't watched this yet, but I wanted to because I thought this would be super interesting. I did watch something about Eastern Orthodoxy recently on stream, and so then this just came out yesterday, and I thought this would be interesting. Russia's war on Protestant churches. So we're going to take a listen to this one. And it is about 16 minutes. So, looks maxers are entirely confused. Gen Z men acting like women. Really bad. Okay. They sound like traffickers. They really did sound like traffickers. I agree.
The Russian military has been targeting Protestant churches in Ukraine, and I only found out about it by accident.
For the record, I really do like David Wood stuff. If you haven't checked him out, he does a really good job with his apologetics. And I actually am subscribed, okay? So if you ever see somebody and you're like, why aren't you subscribed? I'm just not logged into my Venatrix account on here just for privacy purposes, but just as some context.
Because no one bothered. The Russian military has been targeting Protestant churches in Ukraine. And I only found out about it by accident because no one bothered to tell me.
Yeah, I didn't really see that covered.
Why didn't you tell me that Russia is attacking Protestant churches? Because you didn't know either. Shame on you. Here's how I found out. Someone in the chat was complaining about Israel destroying Christian churches in Gaza. Jews!
Lol.
So I asked AI, how many Christian churches were attacked by Israel during the war in Gaza?
Wait, before we do this though, I want to just really fast. I'm just looking up something for some context. Okay. For some context, Christianity split into three main branches through two major historical events, the Great Schism in 1054 and the Protestant Reformation in 1517. The divisions were driven by a mix of political power structures, language barriers, and deep theological disagreements over authority and salvation, which ends up being definitive of the different flavors of Protestantism, Catholicism, and Eastern Orthodoxy. The Great Schism that was in 1054... I can actually probably put this on screen to read. Hang on a second. Let's do this. Gah. I think that should work. No, doesn't seem right. Hang on. Okay. The Great Schism, I'm just going to read it over here because that did not work. The Great Schism in 1054 AD was Catholic versus Eastern Orthodox. For the first 1,000 years, the Christian church was largely united. Hold on. I'm going to lose my thing. Hold on a second. I just don't want to lose my tab. Okay. Sorry, guys. I lost it. Okay. The Great Schism of 1054 AD was Catholic versus Eastern Orthodox. For the first 1,000 years, the Christian church was largely united, though cultural and linguistic differences existed between the Latin-speaking West and the Greek-speaking East. Tensions culminated in 1054 when the Pope in Rome and the Patriarch of Constantinople officially excommunicated each other. So the key differences that caused the split, I'm just trying to summarize this for you real quick. The Western Church believed the Pope had supreme universal authority over the entire church, and the Eastern Church believed that all bishops were equal, viewing their Pope as merely the first among equals without absolute power. The Trinity, which we talked about in a previous stream, the Filioque. The West altered the Nicene Creed to state that the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son. The East rejected this change, stating that the Spirit proceeds only from the Father. So they had a philosophical difference on that one, or I should say, yeah, and their difference in understanding there. Or I guess it would be a metaphysical difference in understanding. Regardless, you get the point. Practical traditions, disagreements also arose over minor practices such as whether priests should be allowed to marry, which was permitted in the East, celibate in the West, and whether to use leavened or unleavened bread. Then the Protestant Reformation happened in 1517, so the Protestant split happened then, roughly 500 years after the Great Schism. The Western Catholic Church experienced an internal fracture. This was in 1517. A German monk named Martin Luther, which we've all heard of, published the 95 Theses, protesting corrupt practices in the Catholic Church, specifically the selling of indulgences. This triggered the Protestant Reformation, fracturing the Western Church into multiple denominations, and that's how we got Protestantism. The key differences for the Protestants and the Catholics were biblical authority, so sola scriptura. The Protestants argued that the Bible is the sole infallible authority for Christians, and they rejected the Catholic Church traditions and the Pope's authority entirely. So Protestants also have a problem, or disagree with, I should say, Eastern Orthodox people from thinking that their church fathers are like the ultimate authority, because Protestants are based on the scripture, and that anybody can find out what that is from looking at the Bible itself, that the Bible is the authority. And then the other difference between Protestants and Catholics was the salvation by faith. So Protestants emphasized that salvation is a free gift from God received by faith alone, and rejecting the Catholic belief that good works and the church's sacraments contribute to earning salvation. So that's just a little bit of background. I was just reading from the AI, but I felt like that would probably be useful before we get into it. Hang on for just 1 second. I need to reorganize my tabs real quick, and then we will go from there and take a look at this video. Hang on a sec. Okay. Let me switch back. Okie dokes. Here we go. All right.
Gaza. And the answer was 3. St. Porphyrios Church, Gaza Baptist Church, and Holy Family Church.
So these are the Christian churches that were attacked. Is that what he asked? Let's go back and read that part, or listen to that part again.
How many Christian churches were attacked by Israel during the war in Gaza? And the answer was 3. St. Porphyrios Church, Gaza Baptist Church, and Holy Family Church. All of them were damaged during Israeli airstrikes. Now, even though it's only 3 churches, that's still a lot of churches, because there aren't many Christians in Gaza. If you go back several decades...
Hold on. Wait a sec.
There were between 30 and 40,000 Christians in Gaza, whereas now there are only around 1,000. But we started thinking about other. There were between 30 and 40 now. Even though it's only 3 churches, that's still a lot of churches because there aren't many Christians in Gaza. If you go back several decades, there were between 30 and 40,000 Christians in Gaza, whereas now there are only around 1,000. But we started thinking about other wars and wondering how common it is for churches to be damaged during wars. Seems like something that would have increased once militaries started bombing cities. People centuries ago could have damaged churches deliberately or accidentally with a catapult, for instance.
True, could happen accidentally.
But once you start having planes drop bombs, I would suspect that church damage is going to increase because bombs don't care. Take World War II. How many Christian churches were damaged in World War II? Exact numbers of damaged Christian churches.
Okay, so I think he's trying to draw the parallel here to say like that's not really a useful criticism of Christian churches being damaged during a war.
Globally are difficult to establish, but in the United Kingdom alone, historians estimate that over 50.
Then broke the 200 follower benchmark on this stream. Oh, I didn't even see that. Yay, thank you everyone. 200 followers on Twitch. I appreciate you for being here.
15,000 ecclesiastical buildings sustained damage from bomb blasts and incendiaries. That's 15,000 just in the UK. Germans! Speaking.
I'm actually going to pause this here real quick. I need to check something with my settings, and this is like a little bit earlier than I usually take a break, but I'm going to take a quick break, check that with my settings, and then we'll finish this video and get into a few other things. Okay, I'll be right back.
They try to paint her line by line, make the perfect form divine, but she's a glitch, a beautiful mess, causing digital distress. lunatic sighs. Yeah, Venatrix cries.
Venatrix in the chat, neon eyes on glow. Big bad wolf, VT feet on flow. Avatar sharp, got the crowd on lock. Every bar silver fang when I chomp that talk. They twist my words, try to spin that thread, but I bite through cap, lead the lies half dead. I don't chase cloud, I just chase that truth. Mic check, muzzle off, I'm the young cage proof. Timeline twitching when I drop my views, cause I don't bow down, I just break fake news. They gaslight ghosts, right, sell that spin, but my pack see clear, we were born to win. Venatrix in the chat, neon eyes on glow. Big bad wolf, BT feet on flow. Avatar sharp, got the crowd on lock. Every bar silver flame when I chomp that talk. They twist my words, try to spin that thread, but I bite through cap, leave the lies half dead. I don't chase cloud, I just chase that truth. Mic check, muzzle off, I'm the young cage proof. Timeline twitching when I drop my views, cause I don't bow down, I just break fake news. They gaslight ghosts, right, sell that spin, but my pack see clear, we were born to win. I'm the wolf on stream, Venatrix online. Hardcore takes when I lay that line. You can lie all day, but the fog won't stay. Every fake little flame gonna burn away. I howl that fact, let the echoes fly. All the gaslit games always fade and die. When the teeth hit truth and the light hits sky, all the noise falls quiet when the wolf walks by. I'm the glitch in the script, break the prefab lies. No puppet on a string, I retract those ties. They frame that narrative, call it just a joke, but it smells like fear when illusion gets smoked. You can clip that scream, twist context again. Still the real shine bright through the pixels and skin. I'm a beast with receipts loaded up on file. Put the mask on blast with a savage smile. I'm the late night raid on the false front page. Every bar that I drop, break a gilded cage. From the back of the pack to the alpha stance. When I spit, whole scene get a second glance. I'm the wolf on stream, Venatrix online. Hardcore takes when I lay that line. You can lie all day, but the fog won't stay. Every fake little flame gonna burn away. I howl that back, let the echoes fly. All the gaslit games always fade and die. When the teeth hit truth and the light hits sky, all the noise falls quiet when the wolf walks by. No script, no leash, no PR chain. Just a lone dark wolf in the day to rain. They can smear my name, I don't break, I climb. Cause the real don't ride, only frauds lose time. I'm the wolf on stream, Venatrix online. Hardcore takes when I lay that line. You can lie all day, but the fog won't stay. Every fake little flame gonna burn away. I howl that fake, let the echoes fly. On the bricks in the feet, let the myth unwind. When the wolf speaks up, watch the lights flatline. Always laser focus, wolf eye sharp on the prowl, smelling the tracks. Wolfpack forever.
try to paint her line by line, make the perfect form divine, but she's a glitch, a beautiful mess, causing digital distress. Nautic size. Yeah, Venatrix cries.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to check something and get something to hold me over, and now I'm all good. Drink some water. Okay, I saw Essence Thief said I need to make Ven another intermission song to cover these longer breaks. I actually have been meaning to add songs to that intermission. I just haven't had a chance to pop them in there. And the original songs were made by Zevelyon and Virtual for those ones. And Dober King, or Dober Buddy, but he's not here right now. I don't think. I haven't seen him. He might be here, but he made one of the intermission ones as well. Okay, so listening to Ven is good and all, but that music, bring back the music. Oh shit, it's her. What were you talking about while I was gone, Snark Monkey? Don't be misbehaving when I'm on my break. Okay, let me pull this back up. Hold on. And let's listen to this David Wood video. Okie dokes. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. My tabs are tabbing.
Of these church-destroying, bratwurst gobbling Germans, what about Germany? Germany. The loss of houses of worship was catastrophic. In Aachen, only 43 of 498 churches survived.
I mean, I knew there was a lot of destruction during World War II, but that's a lot.
10%. Over 400 churches were destroyed in the Rhineland, and Greater Berlin lost 90% of its Protestant houses of worship.
Wow.
Notable survivors of severe damage include the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church in Berlin and the Frauenkirche in Dresden. British!
So you see what he's doing here. He's showing that saying Israel has hit some churches or destroyed some churches during the war is not some unique thing to say, and actually is a lot less than what was done in World War II, for example.
Sounds like churches being damaged or destroyed in bombings is a common feature of modern warfare.
I would expect.
But we wanted to check the numbers for another war in our own time. So we asked, how many Christian churches were attacked by Russia during the war in Ukraine? The answer? Russian forces have damaged or destroyed at least 737 religious buildings in Ukraine since the start of the full-scale invasion. Out of this total, approximately 596 of these impacted structures were confirmed to be Christian churches, with hundreds of others.
Could just look up how many arson attacks there are on current France now war as an excuse.
Others belonging to Baptist, Orthodox, Protestant, and Catholic communities. Russians! Now, at first...
Did you see the Venatrix? Oh, yes! Hold on. I was going to replay that. Hang on a second. I saw that right before I stepped away from my computer. Hang on. Let me pull this up. So sorry, Ace of Spades. You should not have to ask me about that. That is my fault. I apologize for not replaying that when I saw it right after. I'm being a bad Wolf VTuber girl. My bad. Okay, let's replay this one.
At Ace Zero Spades super chatted $5, the Venatrix offering.
Thank you for the Venatrix offering. Thank you for the $5, Ace of Spades. I appreciate your super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I won't forget to say it next time, I promise.
I didn't see anything too disturbing about all these Russians damaging or destroying
737 versus 3. What are those stats? That's wild. Yeah.
737 religious buildings during a war. Because one, it's a war, and two, it's a bunch of drunk Russians dropping bombs. I'm surprised these vodka guzzlers can manage to fly, but actually hitting their intended target? Come on. Of course they're going to hit a bunch of churches when they can't see straight. What's the problem? Well, take a closer look at the data. The scale of destruction and deliberate targeting is vast. Deliberate targeting? There's...
Oh, and he didn't prompt it for that. That's interesting. I always think it's interesting the way that you talk to AI can be kind of revealing, right? Because you can lead AI to certain conclusions. So if you're trying to get out the truth, then it helps to not try to lead AI or like to clear your chat history or whatever. But this just looks like it's on Google. And the question was how many Christian churches were attacked by Russia during the war in Ukraine. But the AI itself went on to say, without being prompted, the scale of destruction and deliberate targeting is vast. Baptist and evangelical impact. And then David's going to read that.
Deliberate targeting? Baptist and evangelical impact. Baptist congregations have faced severe impacts, with at least 450 Baptist churches damaged or destroyed.
Okay.
How many Baptist churches have been damaged or destroyed? At least 450. How many religious buildings have been damaged or destroyed? At least 737. So, over half of the churches that have been damaged or destroyed,
Wait, but that was kind of
150.
weird the way it was. Right, okay.
How many religious buildings have been damaged
So way more Baptist and evangelical than Catholic and Eastern Orthodox. If I
or
understand
destroyed?
correctly.
At least 737. So, over half of the churches that have been damaged or destroyed during the war have been Baptist churches. Coincidence? Maybe there are just tons of Baptist churches in Ukraine and the Russians just can't manage to...
Oh, I think I see where he's going with this. I bet it's not the majority of churches there, huh?
bomb a town without hitting 15 or 20 of these many, many Baptist churches. Does that sound right? Not if you know anything about Ukraine. What percentage of the population of Ukraine is Protestant?
Oh, wow.
Protestants account for approximately 1% to 2% of the total population in Ukraine. All Protestant denominations combined make up about 1 to 2% of the population of Ukraine.
I wonder what about Catholic and Eastern Orthodox?
Baptists are a subset of Protestants. So let's say Baptists are around 1% of the population of Ukraine. If over half of the churches damaged or destroyed in the war are churches belonging to a denomination that makes up 1% of the population, that's not random.
No, that's like a crazy disproportionate amount then.
Those churches are being targeted.
What the fuck? I didn't know that was happening.
The only alternative explanation would be that all the Baptist churches just happened to be clustered in areas that were being bombed for other reasons. But that's just not the case. Now, to be fair, lots of destruction is simply the result of war. Entire towns have been bombed to rubble.
Catholics, including Eastern Orthodox, are more numerous than Protestants, but still the minority. I was gonna look that up real quick too. What was his phrasing? Hold on, we were at like 6:30. What percentage of the population in Ukraine is Protestant? Okay, let's ask the same thing. What percentage of Ukraine is Eastern Orthodox? Oh! It says 60 to 72% of the population identifies as Eastern Orthodox in Ukraine? What? Interesting. Okay. What percentage of Ukraine is Catholic? So that's a crazy disproportionate amount. And then 12 to 14% is Catholic. Let's see if we can get the same. Yeah, and it's giving me the same. I'm not showing it on screen because I'm trying to manage my tabs and like make sure that I'm, being safe and everything. But 1 to 2% is identifying as Protestant, and then it was saying 12 to 14% of Ukraine is identifying as Catholic, and then 60 to 72% of Ukraine's population identifies as Eastern Orthodox, making it the largest religious affiliation in the country. And then you think about more than half of the churches being bombed being Protestant.
War. Entire
That's kind of crazy.
towns have been bombed to rubble. But damage to Baptist churches has been massively disproportionate. So, why is the Russian military targeting Baptist churches in Ukraine? The Russian military is predominantly made up of Russian Orthodox Christians, and many Russian Orthodox Christians aren't fans of Protestants and view them as fake or heretical Christians. Perhaps.
Wait, let me hear that part again.
And many Russian Orthodox Baptist churches in Ukraine. The Russian military is predominantly made up of Russian Orthodox Christians, and many Russian Orthodox Christians aren't fans of Protestants and view them as fake or heretical Christians.
Right, that's true. That's real.
Perhaps some of these soldiers see the war as an opportunity to level some Protestant churches. But beyond this denominational animosity, many Russians see Baptists as puppets of the West. The Russian Orthodox Church is deeply intertwined with Russian nationalism. Observers and historians note that the church frequently acts as an instrument of state soft power. Its official doctrines often promote a blend of religious orthodoxy and orthodoxy, autocracy, and nationality, linking Russian national identity with the broader Ruski Mir, Russian world concept.
So he pronounced that way better than I would have.
The degree to which the institution and its members exhibit nationalism involves several factors. Political alignment. The leadership under Patriarch Kirill works closely with the Kremlin. The church utilizes the concept of symphonia, a traditional doctrine of cooperation between church and state to support Russian foreign policy. For example, the church
I haven't heard of that phrase before.
has framed Russia's military actions as a holy mission to defend Orthodox civilization,
That's interesting.
ideology, and expansion. The Russian Orthodox Church has actively hosted assemblies, such as the World Russian People's Council, that articulate expansionist and traditionalist nationalist ideologies. Being the propaganda wing of the Russian government has its privileges, just ask Patriarch Kirill here. He's the highest
I wasn't aware of any of that background. That's actually super enlightening.
ranking leader of
Hello, DJ Nathaniel. Welcome. Oh, based wolf woman spotted.
the Russian Orthodox Church, and his net worth is estimated to be somewhere between $4 and $8 billion, although I've seen even higher estimates. What does this have to do with Protestants? Well, if in the minds of many Russians the church does the bidding of the government, wouldn't they think that Protestant churches are doing the bidding of other nations?
Right, it seems like that is what they think.
So, wouldn't Protestant evangelism look suspicious? Even though Protestants are a tiny minority in Ukraine, they use Ukraine as a base for evangelism. While Ukraine is a predominantly Christian nation, heavily shaped by Eastern Orthodoxy.
Right, it was like 60 plus%. I think it said 60 to 71% Eastern Orthodox.
A variety of Protestant denominations, such as Baptists, Pentecostals, and Seventh-day Adventists, maintain an active and visible presence. The country is sometimes referred to as the Bible Belt of Eastern Europe, serving as a hub for evangelical.
David Wood is a fence sitter on many issues and is Jesuit trained. I would not trust him. I mean, my take is whoever I watch, I'm trusting the arguments that they make, and then I'm looking into the arguments for myself to see if the facts they're saying are actually checking out to follow their train of thought. So far, the facts that he's presenting, when I go look for them independently, I'm able to find them myself, and the train of thought makes sense to me for the sides that would be here. The sides of the religious war, so to speak, that would be here. This what would you call it? Conflict between the Protestants and the Eastern Orthodox people.
Training and church life. So, Protestants are serving the enemies of Russia. Why not destroy their churches? But we can go a little further, because the Russian invaders also deliberately attacked some Ukrainian Orthodox churches, particularly Ukrainian Orthodox churches that don't bend the knee to Moscow.
Hang on one second. Let me just switch this out real fast.
So, there seems to be an
Hello, howdy, fellow Chud. Howdy, hello.
understanding that Baptist churches simply aren't going to bow before Putin, so they can be destroyed. Some Orthodox churches will bow before Putin, so they get an opportunity to submit. In short, Russia demands that churches serve the Russian government. Churches that don't serve the Russian government become targets of the Russian military. Of course, since there are Orthodox Christians on both sides of this war, there's been a growing rift between
Thank you for subscribing, Jinky0.
the Russian Orthodox Church and certain other Orthodox churches. But the Russians are masters of propaganda.
Hold
and
on, I missed that.
Russia demands that churches serve the Russian government. Churches that don't serve the Russian government become targets of the Russian military.
Okay,
of course,
checks
since
out.
there are Orthodox Christians on both sides of this war, there's been a growing rift between the Russian Orthodox Church and certain other Orthodox churches. But the Russians are masters of propaganda. And we've heard about Russians funneling millions of dollars to Western influencers to spread Russian disinformation and to amplify.
That is true. That does happen. That doesn't mean that the Trump Russia thing was real, but there are other instances of this foreign influence.
By U.S. domestic divisions.
Wait, what did that say?
Influencers.
Right-wing influencer network Tenet Media allegedly spread Russian disinformation. In an unsealed indictment, the DOJ alleges that employees of state-owned RT contracted for and oversaw the dissemination of Kremlin talking points by popular right-wing influencers, including Benny Johnson and Tim Pool. I'd have to look into the foundation of that, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if their interests are against ours and they can spread their interests through influencers, and that would check out to me.
To spread Russian disinformation and to amplify U.S.
domestic divisions. Okay.
Domestic divisions. They want to amplify divisions in the U.S. They want to
that would be in their self-interest.
Weaken the resolve of Protestants and Catholics to help clear a path for future expansion. But they don't want to lose the support of other Orthodox Christians. On the contrary, they want the entire Orthodox Church working for Russia.
Well,
so
that makes sense to me that would also be within their self-interest.
What sort of Russian propaganda should we expect? Well, if I were Putin and I wanted to use the Orthodox Church for propaganda, I'd try to develop an online coalition of Orthodox Christians and pit them against Protestants and Catholics.
Oh, interesting. I think this is where this is going to lead into the drama that's been happening with the Orthodox bros attacking the Protestants.
I'd make sure these Orthodox Christians of various backgrounds view themselves not as useful idiots for the Russian government, but as defenders of holy orthodoxy. I'd encourage all Orthodox Christians to work together in this righteous battle for the one true church. But I would definitely make sure a Russian Orthodox influencer remains firmly in control of this alliance so he can steer the group wherever I want it to go. And I'd probably try to keep everyone distracted from what I'm doing by focusing on Israel. Say, did anyone else
We are seeing a lot of that.
notice that the rise of the Orthobros coincided with Russia's invasion of Ukraine? And did anyone else notice that the supreme leader of the Orthobros is a Russian Orthodox walking clown emoji named Jay Dyer, who uses Stalin-esque threats and intimidation to keep his followers in line?
Is Jay Dyer from Russia, or does he live here now? Hold on. I mean, like, does he live in Russia, or does he live here now? Apparently he, like, yells at his audience to donate to him, and, like, just really cringe level relationship, I guess you would say. Okay, let me see. The Google AI is saying he's not from Russia. He was born in the US, where he lived his whole life. Is he Russian? Even? I mean, not that that's really even necessary to be influenced by money or whatever, but he promotes the theology of the Russian Orthodox Church outside of Russia. He converted to Eastern Orthodoxy. I'm not seeing it say that he's Russian. So I'll have to look into that further. I mean, like I said, that's not really like the core tenet of the argument, but I was curious if that's true. What is Jay Dyer's ethnicity? He hasn't publicly specified. So I don't know. I'll have to look into that more. I'm not able to find that conclusively or at all saying that he's from Russia or Russian.
Notice that the supreme leader of the Orthobros is a Russian Orthodox walking clown emoji named Jay Dyer, who uses
I think he's just saying Russian Orthodox, like, of the church. I don't think he's saying that he is Russian.
Stalin-esque threats and intimidation to
Yeah, hold on. I think I misunderstood the claim. Dyer. I think it's just saying he's Eastern Orthodox, so I'll leave it there. I can't find just Russian Orthodox. Okay, but he's not from Russia.
to keep his followers in line.
Well, hold on. When I looked it up, it says he's an Eastern Orthodox apologist, author, prominent internet personality. Let me see if my past searches had something better. Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Noah Jefferson, a young
Oh no, why is this glitching? Hold on, my tab is freezing.
invasion of Ukraine. And did anyone else notice that the supreme leader of the Orthobros is a Russian Orthodox walking clown emoji named Jay Dyer, who uses Stalin-esque threats and intimidation to keep his followers in line? Noah Jefferson, a young Orthodox Christian who
So for the record, sorry, that was just kind of bothering me. Russian Orthodox Church is the largest autocephalous. That's a independent branch of the Eastern Orthodox Christianity. So I think he's just saying he's associated with that.
who escaped the Orthobro cult said
A lot of first timers in chat today. Welcome, newbies. Welcome if you're here. I appreciate you tuning in for this Saturday on Venatrix TV.
that the Orthobros only use theology as Christians is a Russian Orthodox
Okay, I promise I won't play this part again. I just want to hear the latest.
walking clown emoji named Jay Dyer, who uses Stalin-esque threats and intimidation to keep his followers in line. Noah Jefferson, a young Orthodox Christian who escaped the Orthobro cult, said that the Orthobros only use theology as ballistics against the other, and that theology is simply the weapon of this cultic mindset.
I do have to say something that really, oh, my voice is really quiet compared to the video. Thank you for telling me. I do have to say something that kind of, oh yeah, my mic is like kind of low right now. Something that stood out to me when I was looking into Eastern Orthodoxy, which is kind of a red flag whenever I see this, is like being told that you need to go to an authority to get the right understanding of something. It's not so much that authority or authority structures or hierarchy is a problem, but to me, we're God-given our intellect and ability to comprehend and understand reasoning and logic and rationale for things. And so anybody who's like going past the ability to interpret and come to conclusions and look at evidence directly ourselves for some church authority, whether that's a church elder, or whether that's the Pope, that is immediately I guess you would call it like an epistemological red flag for me. Thank you for the warm welcome. Hello, Miss Trenkin. I think I remember your name from X, I believe. Welcome.
From an insider. He says the Orthobros don't argue based on their passion for theology. Theology is simply a weapon to wield against Protestants and Catholics.
Same problem as in Islam, Chrislam.
Theology is a tool to help them spread propaganda. Here's how Noah describes Jay Dyer. Jay Dyer is a regular host of Alex Jones' InfoWars.
I didn't know that. Did you know that he hosted Alex Jones' InfoWars?
Increasingly becoming a notable figure in the right-wing and far-right online sphere, while already being perhaps the most popular and influential Orthodox online person.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure after David Wood challenged him to a debate, Jay Dyer said, I'm retiring from doing apologetic content anymore, which is kind of weird. Weird timing there, huh?
Dyer caters to this online culture in his aesthetics, conduct, and media content. His presentation of orthodoxy also takes advantage of the U.S. culture wars and plays upon the recent fascination of the right wing and far right with Russia as the bastion of moral values and
yes, I've seen a little bit of that online lately.
Christian power. It should be noted that Dyer and most of the clergy associated publicly with patristic faith are members of ROKOR, the Russian Orthodox Church outside of Russia.
Okay, that's what he was referencing before.
And while Dyer selectively uses the work of neo-patristic theologians and favors Neopolemism, his outlook on 20th to 21st century Orthodox history seems to be that of the anti-ecumenical, anti-modernity, and pro-monarchist strand in the Russian Orthodox Church.
Okay, hold on. I need to look up some of those words. What does neo-patristic theologians mean? Neo-patristic theology is a 20th century Eastern Orthodox movement advocating a return to the Church Fathers to renew theology, specifically by purging it of centuries of Western scholastic and philosophical influences. Its primary goal is not servile repetition, but the creative continuation of the patristic endeavor to address modern existential and cultural issues. To me, that kind of sounds like, so going to authority over scholarly work, if I understand correctly. It says the neo-patristic movement was to push away from blind adherence to administrative authority and move towards rigorous scholarly and historical critique. Hang on. And then, okay, so it sounds like the opposite, if I'm understanding correctly. And then, what is Neopalamism? Neopalamism. A 20th century theological revival of the teachings of the 14th century Eastern Orthodox mystic Saint Gregory Palamas. I've definitely heard that before. It emphasizes the real ontological distinction between God's unknowable divine essence and his uncreated accessible energies. So it's saying that he selectively uses the work of neo-patristic theologians and favors. So to me, it sounds like they're criticizing him for using the scholarly work sometimes, but then favoring the saint that they're appealing to, if I understand that correctly. Was it sorry, mystic, not saint.
Side of Russia.
Hello, Rays. Is it Rays R511? Welcome.
Because of this, it is telling that Dyer consistently and outspokenly attempts to undermine the credibility of the Orthodox Church in America and its bishops. Dyer
so he's for the Russian Orthodox Church, but he's trying to undermine the credibility of the American one? Is that correct?
perpetuates the defining of America as enemy of orthodoxy by frequently labeling those who defend the Orthodox Church in America Ameridox, a pejorative meant to bring their orthodoxy into question by
Wait, so is he saying they're not Orthodox enough?
identifying them with America as degenerate while directing his followers towards the Russian Orthodox Church outside of Russia. Now, I suspect that most of the Orthobros don't realize that Putin is pulling their puppet strings. And even if you explain it to them, they still won't be able to see it. Cult tactics keep people from realizing they're in a cult. But some of the leaders obviously know what's going on here. So let me go ahead and ask. Hey, Jay Dyer, or should I say, Comrade Jayevich Svidrigailov Dyerovsky. Just because your barely literate army of orthodrones fell for these low-level manipulation tactics, did you really think I wouldn't spot this obvious Russian psyop? Took me like 5 seconds.
So that's interesting.
See you at DebateCon. Debate commie.
Okay, so that was super interesting. And then today, it looks like Andrew Wilson retweeted that video that we just watched and said, I am willing to critically examine live with David the supposed association of online Orthodox apologists with the Russian government. If he also discloses everything about his relationship with Israel, let's see which side has more ties to a foreign government. But then the weird thing is, I guess they were trying to organize it, but then Andrew Wilson in response said, can do Monday. Can't wait to see you defend the claim I am somehow connected to Russia versus you being connected to Israel, but that's not what he was saying, and that's not what Andrew Wilson said in the first thing. So to me, that read as like a bit of a underhanded goalpost move, right? I just get around, boys. Oh yeah, your tweet is right here. And then I think, was this what you posted in the Discord, Zevelyon? Yeah, moving the goalpost, exactly. I read that earlier today. when I was scrolling through here. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of weird that he immediately made it about him being connected to Russia when that's not what the claim was, and that's not what Andrew was proposing that they debate about. He was proposing that they debate about the association of online Orthodox apologists with the Russian government and his associations with Israel. So it'll be interesting to see that debate. I think I saw that it was moved to Tuesday, but yeah. Okay, let me look at my notes real fast and see what else I wanted to cover. Oh, this is interesting. So I had seen a few things that make me a bit, what would you say, not trusting of JD Vance. I know people are like gearing up to who's going to be running for the primary after Trump's term is over, and that, you know, it's seeming like it's going to be JD Vance or Marco Rubio. But I've seen a couple of things on JD Vance that make me just not really trusting of who he is. Like I said, he's kind of flip-flop back and forth on things. I didn't like I feel like he was pandering to the Groyper audience and with the way he's been handling this deal with this MOU with Iran. And when I read through what it was, I think it was 2 streams ago with Keone, just us like completely basically giving in on everything, which is what we were kind of in the position of before, and then acting like Israel doesn't really have a right to defend themselves against Hezbollah. So I don't know, it was a weird, just some back and forths on him that I just don't really trust what I'm hearing. Whereas on Marco Rubio, his track record from what I've seen has been very consistent. I think when he speaks, he sounds like a patriot, and he seemed uncomfortable with the MOU deal that was going on. I also think that there's weird things with JD Vance's wife and just his relationship with Palantir, his relationship with hiring Tucker Carlson's son and being close with him is questionable to me. So yeah, and how he was an anti-Trumper too. So it was always kind of weird to me that he ended up as the VP, and I wonder why. But anywho, this was an old tweet of JD Vance from 2023. He said, as we watch this horrible situation in Israel unfold, Americans must face a stark truth. Our tax dollars funded this. Money is fungible, and many of the dollars we sent to Iran are being used to now kill innocent people. This must stop. Israel has every right to defend itself. I wish our friends well, but most of all, I wish they weren't fighting against weapons bought with our money. And then after the MOU situation, I saw some tweets that were indicating that accounts were being suspended that were coming out criticizing the deal, and there's some wonderings about if there's a relationship between JD Vance and this other guy. What's his name? Alex Bruzowitz, I think is how you say it. And Alex Bruzowitz is a prominent American political consultant and social media strategist, best known as the senior advisor to Donald Trump and the co-founder and CEO of X Strategies, blah, 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 blah. But so the idea is that he had some pull here with doing mass reporting is what they were kind of getting at. But anywho, this said, let me see which one is best to show you guys. Okay. Update, some accounts have been restored after being suspended for being too critical of JD Vance and what many described as Chinese communist-style censorship. However, numerous accounts remain banned. Chicago Jew Ally is still suspended, along with several others. Remember, this is what the Vance team stands for: censorship, intimidation, and silencing dissent. If this is how they behave now, a JD Vance presidency would be defined by punishing critics and suppressing speech from anyone who refuses to fall in line, just like the Biden administration tried to. And then it says in here, JD Vance had reportedly begun targeting Jewish accounts that are critical of him. I'm being told that Judy in general is not the only account suspended after criticizing Vance. Multiple Jewish accounts with fewer than 20K followers are being suspended as Vance attempts to silence critics and crack down on free speech. This is the same playbook used by regimes like Iran: silence dissent, punish critics, intimidate anyone who dares to speak out against those in power. So for a lot of people who say, like, you know, the Jews are controlling everything online and that's why we get censored, you know, these are Jewish accounts that are also being shut down. Now, I don't know that there's direct evidence of them doing this, but it's more of a alleged speculation that this guy is involved with it. Hold on a second. Let me... Thank you for the sub. Welcome again, Miss Stren. I keep saying your name wrong. Let me see. Miss Strenkin, Miss Strenkia. Thank you for the sub. I know you've been hanging out in chat, but I appreciate that. If the reports of this are true, so this is alleged, it's not confirmed. If the reports of this are true, it's a disgrace and a direct attack on free expression. No politician should be able to target people simply for criticizing them. But there was this tweet which was talking about this guy, Alex Bruzowitz, loves posting screenshots to try to intimidate random X users into silence. So here's the screenshot of the post he deleted to show you that he's suffering from a very low IQ. In this post, he claims the guy is a bot. He claims the guy is a bot in an influence campaign trying to attack VP Vance because he called himself wife. What Alex didn't know, in Persian, we use the same word, I don't know how you say that, for both wife and husband. It literally means equal. Persian is genderless. It's just a translation glitch. This is exactly how he's gotten hundreds of accounts suspended. What an embarrassment for the administration to be affiliated with this guy. So this is kind of what they were talking about in his tweet. This Alex guy, he had said, looking for stronger evidence of an active foreign influence campaign involving bots targeting the Trump administration in an effort to shape American public opinion on the Iran conflict. Here's an account using the name Arash, traditionally masculine person name referring to itself as wife, but like she just explained, it's not really the same in their language. The account is also registered as being based in Canada. So the criticism here is that he is part of this group doing like targeted attacks basically on critics of Vance, because a lot of people found that they were banned, even though they were small accounts, after criticizing the MOU and criticizing JD Vance with the negotiation. So if that's true, then that's a bit of a red flag. Let me switch to this. And then I was going to say, so it's that kind of what would I say? It's those kind of things where, if true, like, that's certainly not the kind of person that we want in office, but also the being an anti-Trumper, the close tie with Palantir, the hiring Tucker Carlson's son is all very questionable. And then the relationship with JD Vance's wife, I think it's questionable that he is purporting himself as a strong Christian presence, but then his wife is still Hindu, and they seemingly have like a weird...
Miss Trenkin became a member.
Thank you for becoming a channel member. You're a new Purple Crusader. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome in. I think it's a little questionable that, you know, this is going to be potentially the first lady of our country, and she has no interest in his ideals, in his Christian ideals. Seems like it's just a up in the air, unimportant thing what you believe, which we're finding out it is not unimportant what your beliefs are. So, you know, this is just to say these little red flags make me think, I think that Marco Rubio is the safer bet for this. Okay, let me play this video though, because I thought it was kind of questionable.
Evolved alongside his own.
Does that sound quiet to you guys? Hold on. It's a little bit quiet. Let me switch it. I feel like my mic is overall kind of quiet today. Okay, let's see. Nice to meet a fellow brother of the purple. Hinduism is a scammer's religion. Okay, hold on. Let me switch this. Okay.
evolved alongside his own?
Well, I think in some ways it has been a very personal journey for him. I grew up in a household, a Hindu household, a very stable household, and I've not felt the same sense of need to seek something different that he has. So I think the journey has been more in our relationship, right? Trying to understand where he is, the different ways he's thinking about things, how that fits.
Which is a bit questionable if you're going to lead the country and your spouse is explicitly not on board with the religion that you are. I don't know, it makes me raise an eyebrow, but
into the life that we have together, and less a religious journey of my own.
An interfaith.
So just wanted to point that out. We'll see how it phases, or how it, what would you say? Why did I say phases? That's not what I meant. How it ages as time goes on. Didn't Lady Vance help get a giant Hindu goddess statue installed in Texas? Oh, did she? That's kind of crazy. I don't know if that's true. Okay. Anywho, what else have I got for you guys? Oh, this was Thomas Massey about the SAVE Act. And I talked about this a while ago. My thing with Thomas Massey is we'll watch it. I'm glad that he's voting for it. But I don't really understand why he feels the need to come out here and undermine it like this. So let's see what this says. Let me move it around a little bit. Okay. There we go.
I'll vote for the SAVE Act, but I think it's a distraction.
Sorry, that's kind of loud. The other video was very quiet.
I'll vote for the SAVE Act, but I think it's a distraction from our real problems. I think it's ironic that we control the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the White House, and we're yelling election fraud. I mean, we won all the damn elections. I'll vote.
So I just think that's such an undermining sentiment, and quite frankly pisses me off a bit, because the reason why we won the House, the presidency, and the Senate is because we won so overwhelmingly that they couldn't cheat. But like, as we've seen in California and other places, that doesn't mean they're going to stop trying to cheat, and we just shouldn't be worried about the election integrity at all. They're trying to cheat wherever they can. And so I don't think we're going to get this opportunity again to win in such a, what's it called? Like such a sweeping way. And so it just seems odd to me that you would come out to try to undermine something like the SAVE Act. It makes it seem like he's glad he's voting for it, but like he kind of wishes he didn't have to do that publicly. So I wasn't a fan of that kind of sentiment. And then, oh, I actually forgot to tell you guys this, this was right up my alley. Let me switch my tab. I actually didn't pull this one up, so I just need to, whoops. I just need to, okay, Jesus Christ. I almost clicked the stop streaming button. Ah, almost had a heart attack. Okay, let's just hide that for a second. And then I can switcheroo. Okay, I did pull it up. Yay. So this is very relevant to my experience as a teacher. This was from Libs of TikTok. Seattle, of course, Seattle Public Schools lesson plan for kindergarten teaches little kids that they can be transgender. And I have to tell you, I've been lucky enough to not work or maybe stay in any district that I've been in too long to get wrapped up in them trying to roll out the LGBTQ bullshit. But I definitely have seen the recommended book list, the little things that are like interwoven into our curriculum, which I personally have acted my biggest offense as a teacher has been acting like I forget to do things that I think are horribly immoral, and I ideologically trying to indoctrinate kids. So whenever I've seen like, a recommended video or a certain lesson or a book that's recommended by the district on a book list, or like within the scope of what they're saying, you know, we should do. I always like just accidentally forget to read those books. I have been like middle way through a book and seen something that was like, oh, and they're protesting against, you know, the police or something, and been like, oh, we're not reading that book today, and thrown it in the closet and picked up a different book instead. So I haven't seen a lesson plan exactly like this, but the gender bendy bullshit is definitely ever present. And the worse kind of place, the worse the place you're in, the more present it is in those places. And you know, you're going to be treated like you're being discriminatory and committing a hate crime if you push back on it at all. So this was in Seattle, which no surprise. Seattle Public Schools lesson plan for kindergarten teaches little kids that they can be transgender. This is straight out of their lesson plan. They want to trans your kids. This is real. And so this is actually what our lesson plans look like. Oftentimes something like this, depending on, you know, the grade level, but lots of writing and lots of grandstanding on their ideology when they include it. But anywho, I haven't seen one this bad before. This is introducing Teddy, so it'll be like, I guess this is the book that they're reading, and then they give you the lesson plan for how you should be presenting this. Thank you for the follows, Semper Sapo. So sometimes the, you know, lesson plans like this come from a particular curriculum, but this one just looks like it's coming from the district. So maybe they made it themselves, which sometimes districts do that. But anywho, it looks like Errol and his Teddy, Thomas, are best friends in this book. They do everything together, whether it's riding a bike, playing in the treehouse, having a tea party. Even when they are playing with their favorite ways, Errol can't figure out why until Thomas finally tells Errol what the Teddy has been afraid to say. And the Teddy says, in my heart, I've always known that I'm a girl Teddy, not a boy Teddy. I wish my name was Tilly, not Thomas. And like I said, I haven't seen like lesson plans that are directly like this, but I have seen books and I have seen shows. Like I've even seen kid shows where you'll be like kind of listening to it or looking at it, and then they like drop some gender bendy bullshit about how everybody can dress up like a princess or whatever, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck is that in a kid's show? He says, and Errol says, I don't care if you're a girl Teddy or a boy Teddy. What matters is that you are my friend. Introducing Teddy introduces the youngest readers to understanding gender identity and transition in an accessible and heartwarming story. Sorry, I really can't read this not in a sarcastic voice. In a blah, blah, what does it say? Heartwarming story about being true to yourself, or wherever you got indoctrinated on your ideas about what boy and girl is, but okay, maybe to the drag show that mommy and daddy brought you to. Or maybe mommy and mommy, and being a good friend, as well as to discuss gender and how it can take many different forms. By the end of the lesson, students will understand that there are many ways to express gender, connect, blah, 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 connect to express visually and verbally, blah, blah, blah. But then they relate it to their stupid state standards. So why the fuck does Washington State have a sexual health standard for kindergarten? So when you see a standard and there's a letter at the end, if it's K, it's for kindergarten. So this one is kindergarten. Understand there are many ways to express gender is a kindergarten standard in fucking Washington. What the hell is this? And then the next part is just like a normal Common Core standard about literacy, which whatever, you can have criticisms of that, but at least it's not gender bending the children. And then at the bottom of this lesson plan, it says, here's the vocab that you're going to be teaching the kids. Being a good friend, blah, 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 whatever. Really, that's all you should be teaching in kindergarten. Being a good friend, feelings, emotions, how to express yourself civilly and not like a feral child, right? But then it says gender, so their definition of gender is a person's feeling about being either boy or girl or another made up, delusional, non-existent, imaginary gender. What the fuck? Gender role, cultural ways of how men and women are supposed to act. For example, baking as an activity that's associated with girls typically, and weightlifting as a boys' activity. Thank you for the follow, Filthy Casual. But anyone can do those things, and they make them feel like themselves. Like, ugh, this would be something I would throw right in the trash if it was given to me in my classroom. I don't know what the hell this is. There are only 3 genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. These people want everything to be neuter. I mean, is neuter or neutral? Is that even a gender though? Because I would argue that's like the absence of gender, and it's just male and female. So that's fucking crazy. Pissed me off. Somebody said in the comments of this, these indoctrination centers must be thoroughly audited, prosecuted, and shut down. Our children can't stand another day of this. Beyond infuriating to see this still happening in 2026. And I saw something last night. I don't remember where I got it from, so, you know, whatever. But they were basically saying that Christian or like right-leaning people have more of an advantage when it comes to population and voters because they were, I forget where it was from. I need to look this up, but so take it with a grain of salt. But basically, they were proclaiming that like 80% of kids raised in a conservative, or I don't know if it was Christian household, stay that way, like stay in that ideology, but those are the people who are more often having kids. But this totally ties into the idea of why they're doing this, because they're trying to make more of their own. Like their ideology is antenatal, right? Because they don't want to have kids. If they want to have kids, they want to do fucked up shit with them. When they adopt children, like we've seen, they want to turn them into the other gender. They want to make them infertile by what they want to do here. And so, okay, how do you spread your ideology then if you're not reproducing at normal family scale level? You turn them into it through hormones and hormone blockers and with awful surgeries and by parasiting the children, as somebody just said in chat. That's exactly right. So pretty disturbing. And then Trump is bombing Iran again, so that's great. We'll see where that goes. Maybe we can end up with an actual deal this time after we reassert dominance. Just side point. Oh, this is interesting. So I'm going to do this because I thought this would be a fun segment. Kage sent in I think it was in the vids you want Ven to see. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was stream suggestions. I think it was stream suggestions. This quiz, which I started looking at, I just took a few of the questions yesterday because I wanted to see what it was. But I thought it would be fun, like a fun VTuber-y thing to do, guys, you know? And it is called, it's only about 8 minutes, so it won't be like rushing to do that IQ test, which I do still need to make up the IQ test, okay? I need to do my makeup test. But anywho, this is from Theodramatist. Kage put this in and I thought it looked funny. Who would you have been in early modern Europe? So we're going to take this quiz. Personally, it says, sorry, I don't know why did I say personally? I was just making up that word fit in there. The years between 1500 and 1789 broke the world open. The stability of church, of knowledge, of political order, even of our place in the cosmos. I actually really like the word cosmos. Quiz link for the chat. Yeah, let me send it to you. Here comes the quiz link, chatties. Chuppies in the chat. Okay. Take that link. There you go. As a historian, I love stuff like this. Well, thank you for sending it, Kage. It looked very fun. And revealing of worldview. So I thought it'd be a good conversation starter. Shall we take the test together, like the IQ test, and put the results in the Discord? Oh, go for it. Yeah, that would be fun. We could make a thread in the Discord. Okay. Anywho. Even our place in the cosmos, all of it was called into question and left unsettled to be fought over. Out of that turmoil came a crowd of new movements. Some drove the changes, some struggled to make sense of them, some fought to undo them, and not one came through untouched. A few you'll recognize, most you won't, but every one of them still leaves its mark on the world you live in now. They are gathered here, and the questions that follow, most of them about you as you are today, will find where you would have stood in the chaos. Most of the questions about you. Thank you for subbing to the channel, Silver. The questions that follow, most of them about you as you are today, will find where you would have stood in the chaos. 34 questions, about 8 minutes. About 8 minutes until I yap so much that it ends up being way longer than that, but we'll try. Okay. Your relationship, maybe I should make this a little bit bigger. Does that look too small? Okay, hopefully, well, some of the questions did look like they had multiple choices, so maybe I should have just left good enough alone. We'll leave that. We'll adjust it if we need to. Your relationships of pleasure, comfort, and wealth. Deny myself simplicity, even austerity, enjoy the good things, life is for living, or comfortable but wary of excess. I think comfortable but wary of excess. What's your social superpower? I don't know. That sounds like a question for you guys. What's my social superpower? Chuppies. Making any room feel at ease and entertained. Hosting and orchestrating brilliant conversation. Winning an argument in public, or I'd rather be alone with my work. Okay, you're going to laugh because my real job as a teacher and also VTubing are both very public facing and entertaining, but really on the inside, I'm a massive introvert. So I think I'd rather be alone with my work, doing like the creative work. I mean, the front facing stuff is super fun for VTubing, but socially, I think I'm an introvert. That seems to read the most introverted. Pick up to 3 places where you'd feel most like yourself. I like how the numbers of the questions are in Roman numerals. Okay, a quiet study full of books, a workshop where you build things and test whether they work, like me building and testing my stream setup and then having it break and scuff over and over again, like that kind of workshop. A workshop where you build things and test whether they work, a loud cafe deep in argument, a plain room where people sit together in silence, boring, a grand hall of ceremony ranking gold, a bare cell alone, the thick of a deal, numbers, risk, money moving, somewhere with real danger and crew you trust your life to, or an elegant room humming with brilliant talk. Okay, it says pick up to 3, but I don't think I have to pick all 3. I would say a quiet study full of books, a workshop where you build things and test whether they work. A grand hall of ceremony. I'm actually going to say that one. I think that'd be really cool. How do you feel about authority and hierarchy? Oh, gotta bounce. Keep up the good fight. Bye, JC5498. Thanks for being here. How do you feel about authority and hierarchy? Some people are fit to lead and order is good. A clear chain of command is a blessing. Power is dangerous and should be shared, checked, answerable. Real authority comes from ordinary people. Unjust hierarchy should fall. Well, our democracy isn't making a good point of proving that so much. Politics isn't my fight. My real allegiance is to something else entirely. Okay, I think I'm going to say some people are fit to lead and order is good. A clear chain of command is a blessing. Oh, poop. I just realized I've gone this entire time totally ignoring the Rumble chat that I said I wouldn't ignore this time. Sorry. Why can't I just see Rumble? Okay, it doesn't look like there's many people in Rumble chat anyways. That's weird. It lets me filter it, but okay, it's fine. Something you care about. A craft, an intuition, a faith has drifted. The fix. Strip it back to how it was first meant to be and recover the original. Throw out the old assumptions and rebuild from scratch on something solid. Stay inside the living tradition. It developed for good reasons. Let it carry you. These answers are kind of complicated because I feel like stripping it back, but you might need to change it, right? Like if something in our founding fathers' documents didn't account for the way the world was going to turn out, then I have no problem with us changing that. But I do like us stripping back to what the original intent was as well. This number 2 just sounds like totally ruining, like destroying everything and starting over. So I'm gonna not click that one. I think strip it back to how it was first meant to be is probably the best. Which of these would you actually want on your wall? Oh, this was one of the questions I looked at and I had a hard time answering. Nothing, a bare clean wall, a vast gilded ceiling of clouds, saints, and light. I mean, that sounds cool, but it could be a little bit gaudy. An exact, unsparing portrait of a scholar at a cluttered desk. A precise star map, or an engraving of a flea seen under a lens. God no, fleas should be made extinct. Fleas and ticks are the fucking worst. The whole cosmos diagrammed as nested solids and musical ratios. A quick-witted sketch of a crowded drawing room. I think the whole cosmos diagrammed as nested solids and musical ratios is probably the closest one. Since Kage sent this, I was thinking when I was reading this question that I feel like he would pick an exact unsparing portrait of a scholar at a cluttered desk. But that's only from his past like PFPs that it made me think of that. At a gathering where people are getting swept up, singing, weeping, caught up, what's in you? I'm probably hiding in the corner as an introvert, wondering when I can go home. I'm right there in it, feeling like that's the realest thing there is. Not so much. Moved, but part of me is watching a little wary. I always say that wrong. A bit embarrassed. I trust a clear head over a hot one. Okay, I have to say number 3. I would be like, what the fuck are these people doing? I need to get out of here. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment. If you're drawn to the spiritual at all, what's the pull? Silence, emptiness, union with the depths, or a binding sense of duty and obligation before God, beauty, ritual, and the visible holy. It has to make rational sense. Hidden forces and correspondences, the cosmos as alive. The sense that the world is about to change utterly, or honestly, none of it, leave me out of it. This one was kind of a hard question, so I feel like I can't answer fully since they're just single sentences. But because it's complicated. But if I had to pick one out of this, then everything that I think about an obligation or duty before God, everything that I think about hidden forces and correspondences, it's all routed back to it has to make rational sense of why we are here and why we suffer and why we die and what history recounts and if the historical evidence checks out and if we can know that Jesus lived, died, and was resurrected. Like, it has to make rational sense. So I think it all routes back to that. Okay, I think some messages are getting censored in the chat because I see people looking like they're replying to somebody, but then I can't actually see what you're replying to, which is kind of weird. Okay. So sorry if I'm missing yours, but every tradition, a faith, a craft, a community has its rituals, rules and rituals. How do you relate to yours? Keeping them faithfully is the heart of it. The obligation is real and it binds us. It's the spirit behind them that matters far more than the outward forms. I'd sift them by reason, keep what holds up and let go of the rest, and let the rest go. I keep them gladly, not as a burden, but as a joy that lifts the ordinary into something more. They don't have much hold on me. I'll work that out for myself. This is actually interesting because I've been somebody who's been pretty like anti-holiday tradition, for example, or like the other things that sometimes people get themselves worked up into. I don't have a problem with the core desire to like bring light in the winter or celebrate Jesus being born, for example, or, you know, have fun with holidays like Halloween as we're going into darker months. But I do think people get really caught up in them and can kind of take a like worshipping those kinds of things or like having to run around in a frenzy of like buying things and acting a certain way and all these obligations where it's like maybe the day comes around and you don't really feel like doing the holiday. Like, I don't know. So that's kind of what came to mind when I thought about this. And I thought that it's the spirit behind them that matters far more than the outward forms. So I think that it was between that one and I sift them by reason, but I think I'm going to go with the spirit one for this one. Where does right and wrong come from? This was an interesting question. It actually got me thinking kind of about, I think it's called divine command theory, if I'm correct. Where does right and wrong come from? The command of God. And then they said the nature of God, goodness is what God is. The nature of things, knowable by reason. Character and virtue. What works, consequences in good sense, or custom, what we've long done. So to me, custom was out because like what foundation is that built on? Just because we've always done it doesn't mean that it's true. What works, consequences in good sense.
At Ace Zero Spades super chatted $5. It always surprises me when Ven starts cussing. I'm not expecting her to cuss and then she says fuck out of the blue. Embarrassed smiley face emoji.
I have to keep you guessing, okay? I think that I say curse. I know cuss is like a thing sometimes people say depending upon where they are. I always say curse because I don't really get why the R is offensive in that tradition to some people, so they say cuss. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But and thank you for the $5 super chat to say that, Ace of Spades. I appreciate your generosity. But I'm of the belief that language enhances what we're talking about. So if something is meant to be emotionally charged and I'm trying to convey a point, then a curse word fits that. And I'm not using it out of context. I'm not using it at somebody wrongly. I'm not using it to just like as filler language. So I like my F words when they fit into the context, you know? Sometimes it just delivers a little bit of snark and a punch that I feel like we need to get the point across. But anywho, this one was interesting to me because what works, consequences, and good sense, but that all has to fit within an ultimate reality of like, is it true? Does it work for good? Does it actually work over time because it's accurate? And then that's complicated because does it work right now? Does it work across time? What's the ultimate truth? Character and virtue has to exist within a true reality or else it means nothing. The nature of things knowable by reason. Well, I think God is knowable by reason. So I kind of like wanted to group that in together. But the command of God for the first one, to me, the command of God doesn't mean anything if God isn't true. If God doesn't exist within the realm of ultimate truth, if God isn't truth himself, if he doesn't represent that like peak archetypical reality of there being a way that things are and he exists within those rules of reality of true and real and accurate to how physical and metaphysical existence and spiritual existence actually is, then I don't like we just listen to God because he's God, if that makes sense. To me, it's got to be God is truth. God is most aligned with truth because he is truth and he fits into that slot of ultimate truth. And so I think the nature of God, goodness, is what God is, has to be my answer. It's a little bit confused with the language, but I think you get what I'm saying. You're sure about something that matters. Someone you respect tells you you're wrong. What would actually make you reconsider? You're sure about something that matters. Someone you respect tells you you're wrong. What would actually make you reconsider? These are like good questions. These are good conversation starter questions. Solid evidence I can check for myself, a measurement, a result, a thing I can go look at. A clean argument. If the logic is sound from the premises I accept, I have to follow it. What the long tradition has held. I trust accumulated wisdom over my own cleverness. A text or teaching I hold as binding. That has the last word for me. Something I just know inwardly, a conviction argument doesn't really reach. That just sounds like intuition, like trust my feelings, bro. I think the solid evidence I can check myself, a measurement, result, or thing I can go look at kind of fits into the clean argument. Like I want to say a clean argument. If the logic is sound from the premises I accept, I have to follow it. But I feel like the clean argument fits in solid evidence. You know, like the logic will be sound because the evidence is something that's measurable. And not every subject is something that can be classically or physically measured. So I think I have to say a clean argument. If the logic is sound for the premises I accept, I have to follow it, knowing that it can include solid evidence, I think would be my answer. How much can we really know about the world and how? Reason can take us all the way to certainty. Follow a sound argument and you arrive at the truth. I mean, I think it can take us pretty far, but we can't really actually know for sure. Like we have to be thinking that we're on the right track to knowing as much as we can or getting as certain as we can. But if we're not God ourselves, how could we claim certainty? I would say we can arrive at the closest to truth we can get. Only what experience shows us, and even that we can never quite be sure of or be quite sure of. I don't think so, because I believe in the supernatural and you can't always, like there's a whole faith thing about that, about it not just being something you can have an experience of and there being a good reason for why that is. Being that like accepting the logic of reality and of consequences and of your suffering. And if you just know it's going to work out, then it kind of undermines the character creation and test of that kind of circumstance. So I can't just say that experience is the answer either. Whatever survives the testing, you measure it, you try it, and you stay ready to be wrong. The deepest truths come to us another way, through faith or a kind of knowing that argument can't touch. Each of these has its place. The senses give us the world. Reason carries us further than we tend to think, and the highest truths come to us only through revelation. Less than we like to think, better to doubt and to hold back from judgment. Ooh, these answers are tricky. I really liked this one, but I'm hesitating to click it because I have heard some people say, like, God, talk to me, or whatever it is. And it's like, that to me is not convincing enough to move over that line. I really like the senses to know the world, and the reason carries us further than we tend to think. Ugh, I don't like these answers. I mean, the highest truths, you could take this as like, I think I'm going to click this one and take it as, if I were like raptured into heaven, then I would only be aware of the truth of everything through God's revelation. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a truth that's already been revealed to me right now. So I think I'm going to go with this one as being the best. Which of these places would you most want to call home? Cool gray and rain green, the Pacific Northwest coast. Flat delta country laced with water, the lower Mississippi. It sounds hot and humid and buggy. Golden rolling vineyard valleys, California wine country. Cold, forested, and high, the Rocky Mountains. Hot, dry hills above a bright sea, the coast near Cape Town. I think golden rolling vineyard valleys, California wine country. I'm also like, I have like a Mediterranean ancestry, so I feel like that kind of landscape calls to my ancestry, to my roots. What's the point in the end? Withdraw and perfect the inner life. Lose yourself in something greater, union with God or the ultimate. Patiently make things a little better. Tear down what's rotten and start over. Guard and preserve what we have. This would be like a good quiz, like if you were like going on a date and you like gave it to someone, like, let's really find out what you're all about. Like, this is kind of revealing of your inner belief system. Guard and preserve what we have, build wealth and power, get mine, just survive and take what comes. I think it has to be withdraw and perfect the inner life, like to get your soul right with God, to undo your sins. I think, if I'm interpreting that one the right way. The leveler I apparently am. What about a divan down by the river? Where do you feel you most belong? Deep inside a close community with its own shared way of life. With a foot in two worlds, my own and the wider one, working to open the doors between them. Among a small circle of the like-minded, set a little apart from the crowd. Nowhere in particular, at home, anywhere, and tied to no one tribe. Definitely among a small circle of the like-minded, set apart from the crowd. Hence this VTuber channel I started. What do you trust more? My own conscience and judgment, even against everyone. The wisdom of community, the tradition, and the institution. A balance of the two. Huh. That's kind of hard. I'm just like not bought into the argument that tradition can be trusted alone. And I think I have to go with the first one, because then I can use my own conscience and judgment to judge those things. But I'm always using my conscience and judgment to judge the wisdom of a community or the tradition or the institution, you know? So I think it has to be that one. People close to you believe things you're sure are wrong. Your honest response. Live and let live. Difference is fine, even good. That's not working out so well in our current society, though. It matters that people get the truth right, and there should be one shared order. I don't care I don't much care what people believe as long as they leave me be. Well, the first one is kind of the same as the last one. I don't like these answers. It matters that people get the truth right and there should be one shared order, right? But sometimes people won't get the truth right. And there's either only so far you can go or willing to go or makes sense to go. But I also don't like live and let live. And I do care about what people believe. I think I have to go with number 2, but it's not a strong selection. Which sound moves you most? Sparse and stripped down ambient minimalism or near silence, vast and overwhelming, a towering film score or grand choral music, big and full of feeling, stadium anthems and gospel. Persecute Comics, hello, welcome to stream, Persecute Comics. He said, I caught a Venatrix stream finally, welcome. Big and full of feeling, stadium anthems and gospel, the kind that moves a crowd. Clever and refined. Clever and refined, sophisticated jazz. I actually don't really like jazz. I actually super don't really like jazz. That might be a controversial opinion, but there's just something about it that doesn't do it for me. Sorry. And a sharp-witted songwriter. Intricate and pattern-built prog electronica, the architecture of it. Loud and hard-living punk outlaw country, something to drink to. I think that's like that. I forget the name of the song. That's like a drinking song. It's like a southern drinking song. I think I'm gonna have to go with vast and overwhelming, a towering film score or grand choral music, or like singing in a cathedral. I think that would be the most moving to me. Someone keeps failing morally. Your view. The bar is absolute and almost nobody truly clears it. Most people won't change and pretending otherwise is a lie. People are weak. Meet them where they are and find a workable path. Keep encouraging them. Real change comes from the heart, not the rule book. Hold the line. The rules are the rules. I think hold the line. The rules are the rules. And like people will rise to it or they won't. But we have to be aiming for that for an ordered society and to preserve the truth. A new way of doing things arrives and upends the old one. Your gut reaction. Exciting. The new is how we get better. Why do I keep fucking saying worry like a motherfucking quarry? That is not the word. Wary. We lose something real every time we progress. Keep what's timeless and test the rest. I don't really track that sort of thing. This guy just dips out of hard conversation here, the last answer. I think keep what's timeless and test the rest. How do you see work and money? Work is a calling worth doing well regardless of the pay. A way to build wealth and get ahead. Beneath me, I'd rather not get my hands dirty with trade. Whatever pays, take what you can get. I mean, this is hard because a lot of work is not a calling and it's just a slog, if you will. I think ideally work should be a calling. Ideally, it should be worth doing, but you also do need to get paid for it. I think I'm going to say work is a calling because I think ideally it should be, but a lot of work is not. You want to really understand something new. What's your first move? Dig through the records and original sources and the primary source documents and put on your nerd glasses until the picture comes together. Set up a test, measure, and see what happens. Reason it out from first principles I'm confident in. Find out what the great minds of the past already worked out. Sit with it quietly until the answer shows itself. Well, that sounds kind of dumb. I think reason it out from first principles I'm confident in. It's like you have to dig through the records and original sources while you're also using first principles. So don't first principles inherently have to come first? The first principle would be look for the primary source document, evidence or whatever. So I think reason it out from first principles. A more just society. How do you get there? Well, let me tell you, we've been talking about this for a while on stream now. Rule by the virtuous and capable and a properly balanced constitution. One that doesn't allow private organizations, non-for-profits to make stupid fucking rules that you can't have free speech on state land, huh? Equal rights and a real say for every ordinary person. The real say and the equal rights for every ordinary person is not working out too well. A strong, rightful authority at the top that people trust and follow. Let sober management and open trade sort it out. I think rule by the virtuous and capable and a properly balanced constitution. One book to grab from a burning library. The Bible or a celebration of discipline. I do agree, though, that a benevolent dictatorship could be good, too, Iliac. Ordinary person is carrying a lot of the heavy lifting in that statement. The Bible, a celebration of discipline, Newton's Principia, or A Brief History of Time, Plutarch's Lives, or I, Claudius, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, Voltaire's Candide, or Catch-22. Oh, I remember reading Catch-22. Poor Richard's Almanac, or Freakonomics. I'm going to go with the Bible. How do you make big decisions? Oh, freak out about it for 48 hours and then calm down enough to decide? Anyone else? No. Cool analysis, lay it out and weigh it. Gut and feeling, what moves me, a mix. I distrust pure emotion. Pure emotion does get us in trouble. But I'm not always the best at cool analysis either. Ideally, I would like to do that. I'm going to say a mix, though I distrust pure emotion. That's probably most honest. Wait, what test is this? Yeah, the test, oh, you guys can't resend the link, but if you, let me see if I could resend the link. Hold on. It's who you would be in early modern Europe. There you go. A mix. How strict are you about about moral rules for yourself and others? Very strict, no excuses. Firm, but I make allowances. Pretty flexible, context decides. I'm going to say firm, but I make allowances because sometimes it's hard to interpret what the moral thing is to do. And I'm open to having my moral rules. Well, but I don't know if they're like the ultimate moral rules from God. It's not that the rules themselves can be changed. It's that our interpretation of them can be changed. So I'm going to say I can make allowances if my interpretation is like convinced otherwise. Left to themselves, what are people basically like? Oh, gosh. Deeply flawed, without grace, or some firm limits, we go to our worst. Improvable, give people reason, learning, and a fair chance, and they rise. Better than we're often told, there's a light and real dignity in everyone. Mixed and best seen without any illusions, neither angels nor devils. I think that probably is the best answer. But sometimes they could be devils. An unjust order holds power. What do you do? Well, that's the time we're living in. Serve it and keep things stable. Disorder is worse. Work inside the system patiently to reform it. Organize to overturn it. Keep my head down and tend to my own garden. That's hard. Because unless there's enough of a movement, you kind of are just wasting your life on trying to overturn something that you can't alone. But if there's a call, like what's over the line of there being a call to organize to overturn it? That's kind of hard. I don't think working inside the system works when we're talking about evil. I definitely don't think serving it and keeping things stable is always the right call either, although disorder can be bad. I'm going to say organize to overturn it, but I mean that very loosely because most of the time I'd be keeping my head down and tending to my own garden. But if there was a call of like, no, there is actually a call for you to run for office or, you know, join with a militia or whatever it is, like I think if there's a call to organize, I'd count that as tending your own garden. Yeah, that's true. So maybe tending, would you create that call? I have to admit, I don't think I would create that call unless it really seemed like that was what I was supposed to do. Like that's what was being thrust upon me. Then I wouldn't walk away from the call. But I don't think I would go out to create that call myself. So I think I'm going to say keep my head down and tend to my own garden until it seems like the right thing to do. Tentatively. When the world around, but I mean, that just might be a woman answer too, you know? When the world around you falls into chaos and conflict, where do you end up? Finding the angle nobody else sees, turning the disorder into gain and power. Down in the thick of it, just trying to come through in one piece. Refusing to be drawn in, it isn't my fight. Holding the line for the order that's under threat. Trying to save the hard-won gains without throwing out what was good in the old. Throwing myself into tearing the old order down for good. I think holding the line for the order, like the truth, that's under threat. I think it's how much of an extrovert you are. Okay, well, put me down for 0% extrovert on that one. I'll stick to my garden. Left to your own taste, how do you dress? A plain tee. Well, I am wearing a plain tee right now, aren't I? Ironically, my t-shirt that I'm wearing in real life is almost a 1-for-1 with the t-shirt that's on my model right now. Plain tee and dark jeans, no logos, a simple unadorned dress. I don't like jeans though, but maybe. A velvet blazer and a statement watch, a bold gown and striking jewelry, a well-cut sweater and leather loafers. I don't think so. A tailored blazer over a silk blouse. Sounds so formal. A rugged work jacket. Oh, it's like male and female. Hard wearing denim and a utility. I think a plain tee and dark jeans or a simple unadorned dress. I'm gonna head to sleep, Venatrix. Nice being part of your stream. I hope to catch you again. Thank you, Albion Awakening, and thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate you. See you around. If the modern world has lost something real, which loss bothers you the most? The loss of truth, probably. A demanding public seriousness, duty, civic backbone that older societies had. The plain original meaning of our deepest commitments, buried under centuries of accretion. Real depths of learning and language, the range the old masters had. Nothing really. The old days weren't better. What matters is what we build next. I think a demanding public seriousness, because I think that also leads into these other things. Deeper commitments, real depth of learning and language. So I think that bothers me the most. How central is the sacred, God, the transcendent, to how you actually live? That's hard. I am trying to make it the center of everything I do, but I'd be lying to say that it is the center of everything I do, right? Like we're all sinners trying to improve. So I would desire to get to the point in my life where it is at the center. Important, but one part of a full life, now and then, are mostly as heritage, not really. I live in a secular key. I'm going to put this as like a optimistic hope for where I could get my life. Your ideal way to spend a windfall of free time and money. Free time and money sounds great. Master Greek and Latin and read the classics in the original. Build a collection, coins, specimens, manuscripts, and catalog it. Write something that skewers the powerful and changes minds. Fun experiments and useful inventions. Retreat somewhere quiet to contemplate. Wait, this is so funny because I feel like if I came into a bunch of money and power, like I would VTube. I could leave, other commitments that are, responsibilities behind, and I could just focus on doing this for fun and for spreading what I think is important awareness of things and at contributing to the culture. So I think this is probably closest to write something that skewers the powerful and changes, but skewers the powerful, like, what do you mean by that? Like, this is kind of hard because the powerful isn't inherently bad. Like, I'm thinking powerful if we're talking about the satanic occult evilly running everything, but not just powerful in general. Although we could be talking about it like powerful cultural elements that we have at play here. Fun experiments to become a wolf girl for free. Many of my answers were what I thought I ought to do rather than what I actually do or would do. Yeah, I'm falling into that. VTuber sounds like it falls under write something. Good afternoon, Venatrix. Hello, John7237P2Q. Welcome. I think it has to be write something, but I'm going to caveat it with it's not just all the powerful. It would be like bad, powerful things we have right now. Yeah. Risk and security. Where do you live? I'll stake everything on what I believe. I want certainty and settled ground under me. Calculated risks. I hedge my bets. That one. The mathematical mystic. That is not what I would have expected. It says, The Holy Roman Empire, 1595 to 1630. Cosmos as divine geometry. Kepler, the Harmonies Mundi. You hunt for the hidden mathematics behind appearances and feel awe when it resolves. You think the universe is a coded message from a geometer god, and your calling is to crack it and read it back to him. How the Field Falls. Oh, okay. There was the mathematical mystic, the non-juror, the skeptic, the hermetic magus, the Jansenist, the rationalist, the Socinian. How do you say that? Socinian, and the Cambridge Platonist. Interesting. That was interesting. I thought you would have maybe gotten a leveler, but we answered the same on everything but the religious questions. How's your day going, Venna? My day is going great because I get to be here with you guys on Stream. That sounds fun. Wait, what sounds fun? Oh, this guy? Okay, yeah, it does. Okay, hold on. Let me switch. I'm gonna go back and see if I missed any of the... Oh gosh, maybe this is a mistake. Of the Patreon messages. I'm scrolling, but I don't see them. It looks like everybody switched over. I have to figure out, maybe I should put a filter on Patreon so I feel like I can include that into the combined chat, you know? I'm kind of feeling conflicted about that. Okay, I think that was just from way earlier in the stream. Okay. Perfect. Got it. What does hermetic mean? Natural magician, like hermeticism. It's not like an occult practice. Something to that effect. If you click the button at the button, it shows all the results ranked by how... You mean button at the bottom? It shows all the results ranked by how well they apply to you. Oh, okay. Show the full field. Oh, okay, I see. So it's like the rationalist, okay, the Jesuit, pantheist, Puritan, Quaker, philosophe, the empiricist, the Petrist, the masculine, Carmelite, mystic, divine right, absolutist, the humanist, the civic republican, the new astronomer, the natural law jurist, the Beminist, the leveler, radical Democrat, the Hasid, joy in the Most High, the virtuoso, the military entrepreneur, the pan-Sophic reformer, the courtier, the apocalyptic radical, the projector, the mercantile burgher, the common mercenary, and the salonier. Interesting. That was an interesting one. Thanks, Kage, for sending that. I think it was kind of an on-brand VTuber. It means sealed, coded. Yes, hermeticism. Right, that makes sense. I think I've heard that before. Hermetic magus delves into the magical arts. Yes, cool. That was fun. Thank you for sending it. Okay. I am going to end stream here, and I'll be back on Wednesday, maybe playing some Mass Effect, covering some other news and world events and all that stuff. But I'll pop in the Discord to look at everybody's results and all that stuff. So if you're new, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on X for stream announcements. I stream every Wednesday and Saturday at about 2 p.m. PST. Join us in the Discord for Akira tomorrow at 11 a.m. PST to EST. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, don't forget to join the Discord if you want to keep chatting and be part of the community. Thank you for everybody that subscribed, gifted subs, and also I super appreciate the 2 people who became YouTube channel members. Thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate you. All right, have a great rest of your Saturday, everyone. See you guys very soon. Bye-bye.
truth is treated like a crime. Living honest in a world that forces you to toe the line. They twist the words, they sell the fear. They keep the masses blind.